को बचा पाएगा। बीचों बीच फंसा हुआ 2 ग्रेनेड्स, और ये 2 ग्रेनेड कनेक्शन निकाल सकते हैं बड़े सबके बीच में। वाईजी वो डाउन करेंगे एडमिनो को, एंड इसी के साथ टीम गॉडलाइक 5वें पायदान पे
यो
इस मैच
सो
से
हे गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू डे 4 वॉच पार्टी।
उनकी तरफ फेंका गया, फिर उसके बाद गन से उनको डाउन कर दिया गया। आखिरी खिलाड़ी रहेंगे, उनको भी समाप्त करेंगे।
फिल्टर पर आगे बार देखते हैं क्या सीन है गाइस। बैकग्राउंड नॉइज काफी आ रहा है,
लेकिन उससे भी अच्छा जो हमें लग रहा है वो है गॉडलाइक
ओके।
ई-स्पोर्ट्स का कमबैक।
इसको री नॉइज गुड हाई भी करते हैं, ओके। होप की साउंड बेटर होगा पहले से। पीछे का बैकग्राउंड नॉइज कम कर दिया इसने वैसे तो। बोलने के टाइम ही कुछ चेक कर रहा है, सो अभी चेक करते हैं माइक अपना।
I have with me the analyst of team Godlike Noob. Noob, how's it going? Big day today.
Yeah, like ड्रीम था इधर इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करने का, एंड फाइनली भी आई भी सब लाइक हम सब रेडी है और एक्साइटेड भी है सबके लिए, एंड लेट्स सी कैसे जाते हैं।
Alright, कल ओरंगुटान ने इतिहास रचा. What do you think about their gameplay and strategies?
लाइक आरू भाई ने बहुत मेहनत की थी भाई, लाइक आई नो हिम सिंस लास्ट 3-4 इयर्स। वो बंदा बहुत मेहनत करता है भाई, तो उनको भाई मेरा सल्यूट है, एंड हमें भी क्वालिफाई करना है। अभी उन्होंने तो कर लिया, अभी हमारी बारी है।
क्या ये थोड़ा सा एडिड प्रेशर है कि उन्होंने कर लिया, अब हमको भी करना है?
प्रेशर तो नहीं लेते भाई हम, बट या हमें करना है बिकॉज हम भी कंट्री के लिए खेल रहे हैं।
Absolutely, and that means everything to all of us. आज बहुत ही important दिन है, पहले 6 मैचेस हैं। कुछ स्ट्रैटेजीज के बारे में if you can tell us.
कुछ इतना बोलूँगा नहीं, गेम में देख लो, सबको पता है कि हमारे ड्रॉप क्लैशेस है, हम लेने वाले हैं वो, हम पीछे नहीं हटने वाले।
Alright, let's not talk about strategies, then let's do one
बस
thing.
13 मिनट है, इसके बाद जो शुरू हो जाएगा।
How's the Josh in the team?
सब पंप है भाई, लाइक कर लेंगे भाई,
कर लेंगे। So that is Noob from Godlike, and हम पूरी तरह से तैयार हैं आज के मैचेस के लिए।
ओहो, ग्रेनेड की बारिश तो देखिए किस तरीके
भाई
से।
कल के मैच का कुछ रिप्ले दिखा रहे हैं लोग।
कनेक्ट होगा, जी हाँ। एक खिलाड़ी को पूरी तरीके से खत्म किया गया, और दूसरे है वाटिलिटी के पास, और उनको पोजीशन के बारे में भी पता है, जिसकी वजह से हर एक ग्रेनेड इसी जगह पे आके गिरता हुआ। एक और नॉक, और टीम नीटी उनको बाहर करा।
ज्यादा क्लोजिंग ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, बड़े सबके बीच में वापस से इनको रीपोजिशन करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को। यहाँ से सिचुएशन और डिफिकल्ट होती भी है ना कि एक खिलाड़ी सीधा आगे आएंगे, कनेक्शन निकालने का प्रयास, पहला शॉट कनेक्ट भी होगा, एक खिलाड़ी को डाउन किया, दूसरा खिलाड़ी सामने मौजूद, उसका भी कनेक्शन मिलता हुआ। एक बहुत बेहतरीन पुश यहाँ पे नॉन्गशिम के प्लेयर्स की तरफ से, 2 प्लेयर्स डाउन।
कबड्डी अरीना तैयार थे, नॉन्गशिम के खिलाड़ी एग्जिट के ऊपर वो कनेक्शन आया, उनको नॉकआउट किया, बट क्या उनको पॉइंट मिल पाएगा वो देखने वाली बात रहेगी। बट नो, उन्होंने नॉकआउट तो निकाला, बट दूर से उनके ऊपर भी शॉट आ गए। स्पोर्ट्स के बीच में काफी सारे गैप्स है, बट वो उनके ऊपर कनेक्शन बन गया, एंड हमने देखा कि वो नॉकआउट भी हो गए। आखिरी खिलाड़ी अल्फा 7 के बचे हैं, और इस ग्रेनेड के साथ अल्फा 7 वो भी आज के दिन में अभी तक सबसे बेहतर परफॉर्म किया है। क्या ये फाइट को जीत पाएंगे वो देखने वाली बात रहेगी। बट स्काई, उन्होंने एक्सेल को भी डाउन किया था, बट उसके बाद आया उनके ऊपर शॉट, एंड उनकी कहानी समाप्त हुई। बट टीम वाइटलिटी वो भी नहीं रुक रही है, फिनिशेस उनके पास, एंड टीम वाइटलिटी इस मुकाबले के अंदर एक बार फिर से करके जाते हुए और दिखाते हुए कि टॉप ऑफ द टेबल रहना सबकी बात।
भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम पे पहली बार आए फटाफट स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो, और चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो भी कर देना मेरे भाइयों। भाई जो भी स्ट्रीम पे पहली बार आए फटाफट स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो, चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो भी कर देना मेरे भाइयों। बस 8 मिनट में शुरू हो जाएगा। आज थोड़ा हम जल्दी आने का ट्राई करें और हम आ चुके हैं। यहाँ तो अलग ही चल रहा है भाई।
All right, it's Kalaris here at PMWC for EWC 26, and I have a returning PMWC champion here in Alpha 7. Today, what we're going to do with them is we're going to ask them some questions and see how well they know one another. Without further ado, let's do the first one. They're all going to write down their answers, and then we're going to compare them afterwards. Who forgets to heal?
Okay.
We can show. I'm seeing a trend here, and then maybe one is different.
Yeah.
All obscure. Okay, next one. This is similar. Who forgets to reload?
Ah.
Okay, okay.
Você botou aí, pai? Todos. Ah, sim.
Doido? Você, pai. Você. Você esquece demais de recarregar.
Okay, okay. Okay, next one. Who spends the longest looting?
Isso aí não tem nem segredo.
That's a big one. Okay. Well, so many exclamation marks.
Easy.
Revo. Okay. It's gotta be Revo. Gotta be Revo. Who would win in a dance competition?
Filho.
Como é que não ganha?
Okay. An easy Revo win. Ah, this guy. Good, best streamer, best dancer, crazy. Yeah. Who would spend the longest in a shopping mall?
Depende do que, né? Tipo assim.
Yeah.
É.
All on the same page. Yeah. Of course.
Perfume.
Perfume?
Yeah.
He's too cool, you know? Stylish. Who would forget where they parked their car?
Nunca.
Escrevi o nome dele errado. Here, maybe.
Oh my god. Okay, well, that is it. Thank you very much, Alpha 7, for joining us. We had a lot of fun. Best of luck in the tournament. And that is it done here for PMWC EWC 26.
हेलो डेविल भाई, क्या हाल है, कैसे हो? स्वागत हमारी स्ट्रीम पे। थोड़ा फैन का साउंड आ रहा होगा तो फैन का साउंड थोड़ा इग्नोर करना यार, क्योंकि क्या करें यार, मजबूरी है। मतलब मेरे बोलते टाइम ही आएगा साउंड। हम भी बढ़िया भाई। मतलब बोलते टाइम तो आ रहा होगा मेरे। अच्छा चलो बढ़िया है फिर।
My dream right now, it's like become a PMWC champion. I'm fighting so much for that. Be MVP of our
गाइस फटाफट स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो, जिसने स्ट्रीम लाइक नहीं करी है और चैनल पे पहली बार आया तो चैनल सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना भाई।
When I was a child, I just like to play, to be honest. Like at my 6 years old, we started playing some other games, to be honest.
और
I just
बताओ भाई
play
क्या
and
चल रहा है?
Sometimes football, but it was not
डेविल भाई
so good.
क्या लगता है टॉप 5 में आ पाएगी?
My family would describe me, I think, like
आज डे 4 है, लास्ट डे है
F guy, and
तो
always
देखना रहेगा।
and trying
गॉड
to
लाइक
keep
टॉप
everyone
5 में बना
happy
पाती है,
on my
मतलब टॉप
side.
5 पे तो बैठी है 5वें नंबर पे, बट टॉप 5 के अंदर
And
बैठे
it was
रहना
when I
एक
was
चैलेंज
at
है।
home, it's like
और
my
आज
friends,
कोई
my
भी टीम
family,
कसर नहीं
and
छोड़ने
just
वाली
like
अपनी, क्योंकि आज लास्ट
going to
चांस है
school also.
और हर एक मैच में उन्हें पूरी कोशिश करनी होगी कि वो
My
ज़्यादा
perfect
पॉइंट
day
निकाल
off gonna
सके।
be like driving because I love to drive. I have a G20 at 320i. I love to eat like, but not normal food, like fast food, like
तो अपना
McDonald's or
ओपिनियन बताना
something
भाई
like
कमेंट
that.
सेक्शन के
I
अंदर।
always love to eat that. Something people don't know about me, it's I'm so afraid of heights. When I go to the airplane, I want to sit in the window, but I always close to don't sit. My career changed me like as a person, like everything. I became the man I am today because of my career, because the people was by my side. So like changed everything on my life. The person I want to be remembered as like a happy guy, always smiling, and I want to be remembered like a man who never stopped fighting. He always like chasing his dreams.
बस 1 मिनट, फिर उसके बाद हमारा लास्ट डे शुरू हो जाएगा। बस 10 सेकेंड और।
My goodness, Barney, can you believe yesterday? E-Arena winning with a 39-point game on Rondo.
Honestly, unbelievable. Nongshim Red Force taking home 2 chicken dinners as well. But you know what? There's only one team on everyone's minds at this point, because yesterday was Jackie?
Hello?
We're the first people in, mate. What are you doing here?
Hello, I was here. It's fine.
What do you mean you were here? You've been here all night.
I was here.
Have you been here all night, mate? Have you been to bed?
All right, okay, but you want to see something that'll make it way more sense? The reason I've been here, Barney, V equal W. Put 2 of them together, that's 2. That's a W. Then I started thinking, well, the name goes further than that. It's like some sort of symbol, isn't it? Because that's what they do with shapes.
Jackie.
Hello?
Jackie. What's going on, mate? I don't understand.
This is going on. Vitality. TT. Bees. Bees make honey. Honey then translates into money at some point through some sort of transactional sale, usually with farmers, I'd imagine, but in this case, battleground.
Jackie,
Winning.
Jackie, if you need a nap in the green room, mate, it's okay. It's day 2.
No, Barney. Yellow. Hello. That's 2 O's, by the way. Circle. They're always getting zone. Hello, zone.
Jackie. Group B, day 2 today. It's been a day. It's been all night.
I
Why are
keep
you
saying
still
B.
here?
Why does no one understand? He's saying B. I'm saying B. Vitala B.
Okay, Jackie. Okay, no. Yeah. Let's go this way. Okay. Yesterday was an unbelievable day for a particular team, and it seems that that team is on everyone's mind.
ये HTC है क्या यार? ये चीज मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया.
Polaris here for the STC Rewind, and we've got to talk about all of the games from yesterday, of course. Games 2 and 1 looked amazing. Horror, of course, getting themselves a win, but you have had E Arena getting themselves a record-breaking game on day number 1.
Shh. It's just Vitality.
Erangel was totally dominated by Nongshim Red Force down in the military island, not only on the west side of the military island, but also on the east side as well. They looked fantastic, not only from compounds, but the splits that they were able to utilize to all the way to the late game.
Vitality.
All right, well, 2 more games remaining, and it's going to be Miramar here to finish off the
Someone say Vitality on Miramar? The bestest team, the most aggressive team, the greediest team have always built on Crater Field. I cannot believe it. But more than that, they won the next Miramar as well, Calaris.
Yeah, they did. What
Let's
is-
help you out here a little bit.
All right, it doesn't matter anyway. We've got the bubble teams as well. You've got Godlike, you've got S2G, Yangon Galacticos. They're really going to need to put up a big performance today to try and catch up to the top 5. That's it for the STC Rewind.
Vitality.
Vitality indeed, because this squad has been absolutely destroying yesterday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PMWC at EWC 26. It's just the group stages, and we are already breaking records. Not only did we get a 29 elimination game out of E Arena yesterday, we also got Vitality getting more points in 1 day than Fortrice was able to do in 2 days with 108 points. And with all the watch parties, shout out to the record-breaking men, Snacks Gaming, breaking records, keep it up, bye. But now it's time we get started, because today, at the end of the day, I got Neptura, Maxman, 7WG, glad to be here. And we're going to be sending 5 teams to the finals, and 3 teams are going to be going home, and the rest will go to survival.
It is so true. It all comes down to today. I mean, kind of, we already know one of the teams that's going in, so we got to just figure out which of the other 16 or 15 teams get to go through to those finals. And yeah, we will be saying goodbye to 3. Kind of feels like we kind of know who those are going to be as well. But because of the point sponge we've been seeing yesterday, maybe it's still...
Yeah, I mean, right now you're looking at Group A. The point threshold to get into the top 5 was 88 points. I think because of the Vitality effect, it's going to be quite significantly lower. So we'll see. But anyways, a few tricks. That was terrible. But anyways, no, I'm very excited for today. But actually, looking at the top 5, there aren't that many slots There aren't that many slots available right now. So it's going to be a true race for the few slots that now remain here in this event.
It will be close for all these squads, honestly, if we're taking a look at it, when we get a chance to look at the overall. But for everybody currently watching, don't forget to use that social media hashtag EWC and EWC26. You guys have been sharing a lot of awesome stuff. I can't wait to see if we can finally end up possibly sharing some here on the studio with you guys. And make sure you check out the EWC Play app and do your predictions, because our predictions have actually Somebody's predictions have been spot
भाई
on.
जो भी
It's
स्ट्रीम पे
none
पहली
of
बार
the
आ रहा है
delays.
फटाफट स्ट्रीम को
We'll
लाइक
get a
करो
chance to talk to her
चैनल
later
सब्सक्राइब नहीं
on.
किया तो भी कर देना
We got to start talking about Vitality. This squad has just been on an absolute tear, Neptera.
They have. It was so fun to watch. I know everybody at home had a great time watching it, as well as us on desk. I mean, 5 out of 6 games they were on the podium, on the top 3. Pretty insane. So really, really loving what we got from them. And we still got 6 more games of Vitality to go.
Oh, 6 more games indeed. And this is important because that is one squad that is currently fighting for those club championship points. If we want to take a little bit of a deeper look, let's send it over to Glitter and the squad.
Yeah, thank you so much, Seven. I have Kalaris, Hot Jukes, and Glitter with me to bring you some absolutely awesome news from the club championships, especially from Tekken 8 and For Honors.
Honestly, things were absolutely insane. We're going to break down exactly what happened, what this means for RCC, but let's dive into the 2 championship moments that we had yesterday, starting with Honor of Kings. This was a huge story, and it ties into what we've got going on here in PUBG Mobile as well, because we had Quashell Gaming versus AGAL. Now, this is a rematch from 2025. These 2 teams face off again. This time around, though, the result was different. KSG was able to upset AGAL and claim the win, which means that AGAL ended up with the 2nd place, did not defend the title. They were not happy about that. But then if we go over to the Tekken 8 side of things, AGAL found the success they were looking for. They were able to get the title in Tekken 8. This is massive for them. It was in a 5-0 fashion out of Zubair as well. So, I mean, this was a dominant performance, Lace.
And what does this mean point-wise? The championship club point-wise, specifically for AGAL?
Now, okay, 2nd place in Honor of Kings means 750 points. That was already accounted for when we were last looking at the CC leaderboard. However, the win out of Zubair gives them 1,000 additional points. That means they're now at 3,350.
Oh,
they
like
have jumped above Falcons, which we've been waiting for somebody to
तीन
do.
हजार
Was
तीन सौ
it
पचास
possible? We
पॉइंट
didn't know.
EGL
And now they
टीम
have done
फाइल
it,
को
but
2900
maintaining
पॉइंट
it is going to be difficult.
And I mean, that isn't a tremendous jump, especially if we tie into like what happened with the Falcons last year and how they
Exactly.
dominated all
मानना पड़ेगा भाई
performances.
काफी
But what does that mean
तगड़ा सेट
for
कर
our
रखा है
club championship eligible teams today?
Well, we already have
$1 million and the title of best esports club in the world. It's not about being the best at one game. It's about being the best across all of them. Depth, versatility, consistency under pressure. One championship trophy, one title. Who will take it? Watch history unfold in Paris at the Esports World Cup 2026.
And of course, we're gonna watch history unfold इस EWC 2026 पेरिस के अंदर और ये कहानी अनफोल्ड कैसे होती है इस पे भी हम नजर रखेंगे बट फिलहाल वापस आते हैं PMWC की तरफ मेजी आपसे स्टार्ट करना चाहूंगा कुछ देर पहले हमने लीडर बोर्ड देखा वाइटैलिटी आपने भी मेंशन किया कि कोई तोड़ ही नहीं है 6 मैचेस के अंदर 108 पॉइंट जितने वाइटैलिटी के फिनिश हैं दूसरे स्थान पे बैठी नॉन्गशिम रेड फोर्स के उतने टोटल पॉइंट्स भी अभी तक नहीं मिले हैं कल के दिन वाइटैलिटी एंड एक्सेल इन पर्टिकुलर वो जस्ट ऑन फायर
जी हाँ और 2 पर्टिकुलर मैचेस के बारे में हमने बात करी थी एक सिंगल मैच जहां पर वो 17 फिनिशेस लेकर गए थे दूसरा मैच जहां पर वो 19 फिनिशेस लेकर गए थे तो वो दर्शाता है कि एक सिंगल मैच में ही वो डोमिनेट नहीं कर सकते मल्टीपल मैचेस हैं जहां पर वो डोमिनेशन करना जानते हैं और कल के दिन पर हमने चिकन डिनर्स उनकी तरफ से देखा है और उसके बाद एक्सेल जैसे आपने कहा भी है कि भाई 6 मैचेस में अगर आप 23 फिनिशेस लेकर जाते हैं जो दूसरी टीम है उनके पास तो ओवरऑल 34 फिनिशेस हैं
आई थिंक हम सेकंड पेज पहुंचते हैं तो वहां तो हालात ऐसे हो जाते हैं कि टीम्स के उतने टोटल फिनिश नहीं है जितने एक्सेल के पास है बट ओशन आपके थॉट्स वाइटैलिटी के इस लाइनअप के ऊपर देयर परफॉर्मेंस यस्टरडे
इट्स नॉट जस्ट दैट आई मीन मेसी की बात को ऐड ऑन ही मैं करना चाहूंगा क्योंकि मैं पूरी तरीके से सहमत हूं बाकी गेम्स के अंदर भी तो टॉप 3 ही वो टीम रहती नजर आई छोटे मोटे पॉइंट्स हैं लेकिन जिस तरीके से उन्होंने बूंद बूंद से वो गड़ा भरता है उसी तरीके से उन्होंने पूरी कोशिश करी है एंड इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा श्रेय जाता है एक्चुअली उनकी फाइट्स के ऊपर अगर हम फाइट्स के अंदर जाएं एक ऐसा मोमेंट जिसने हर किसी को चौंका के रख दिया कि फेडरलिस्ट ने ये किया क्या हम एक्सेल की बात कर रहे हैं बट फेडरलिस्ट यहाँ पर एक अनसंग हीरो से एक्चुअली एक ऐसा खिलाड़ी बन चुका था जिसके बारे में जिसके ऊपर हर किसी की नजर आ चुकी थी जस्ट एग्जैक्टली हम इसके बाद वाला वो मोमेंट देखेंगे जहां फेडरलिस्ट अपनी शॉटगन लेकर के जा रहे थे उन्होंने अपने स्प्रिंट बटन को लॉक रखा उन्होंने स्कोप एंड होल्ड के साथ शूट किया जिसके कारण उनके बुलेट का स्प्रेड कम हुआ दिस वाज जस्ट अ टीजर जो इन्होंने निकाल करके सामने रखा। और इस टीजर के बाद कहानी लेकिन यहाँ से आगे ये आती है कि ये पहले भी अपने ग्रुप्स के अंदर पहले पायदान पर रह चुके हैं अपनी कॉम्पिटिशन्स में, लेकिन जब भी फाइनल्स आए हैं तो ये टीम 12th 14th वहां कहीं खत्म किया है। लेकिन इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि फेडरल्स ने ऐसा करना शुरू किया है, एफएल के ज़्यूस जिनको हमने कुछ टाइम पहले खेलते हुए देखा था, ज़्यूस की तरफ से भी ऐसे प्रदर्शन आ रखे हैं। इनफैक्ट इनके अगेंस्ट चाइनीज रीजन की जो टीम्स हैं वो भी ऐसे क्लचेस करते हुए नजर आई हैं। वाइटैलिटी को बस पिछली बार की हुई सारी गलतियों को बदलना है एंड मे बी जस्ट मे बी फाइनल्स के डे 1 पे कुछ अलग स्टोरी हो।
देखिए, आपने काफी आसानी से कह दिया कि पिछले कल की गलतियां बदलना है। कहना आसान है, एग्जीक्यूट करना मुश्किल है, खास तौर से जब आपके पीछे ऐसी टीम्स पड़ी हो जो आपके जितनी ही केपेबल है। और अगर सवाल ये आता है जहन के अंदर कि वाइटैलिटी को क्या कोई रोक सकता है, क्या कोई टो टू टो जा सकता है। कल एक और टीम थी जिन्होंने 2 बैक टू बैक चिकन डिनर्स निकालते, वो थी नोंगशिम रेड फोर्स। उनके परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में मेजी आपके क्या थॉट्स हैं? स्टार्ट बहुत स्लो किया था बट उनकी रिकवरी बहुत लाजवाब थी।
मैं मानता हूं कि उनकी कंसिस्टेंसी ही है जिसकी वजह से वो टीम इतनी जानी जाती है। अगर आप उनके रीजन में उनका प्ले स्टाइल देखेंगे इसी तरीके से है कि बहुत ज्यादा सर्वाइवल गेम खेलते हैं, बहुत लेट रोटेशन उनकी तरफ से आता है। वो जो फिनिशेस हैं उतने बड़े नंबर में वो फिनिशेस नहीं आते, पर जब तक वो कंसिस्टेंसी मेंटेन करते हैं, वो प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट आता है, थोड़े बहुत फिनिशेस आते हैं, तब तक आप अपना काम करते ही रहते हैं। और इसीलिए हम कह भी रहे हैं कि भाई आपने 6 मैचेस खेले, वहां पर आप अपने आप को 60 तक पहुंचा चुके हैं और आज के दिन पर अगेन वही कोशिश आपको करनी है कि 30 से 35 पॉइंट्स आप निकाल कर जाएं। मुश्किल नहीं है ये एनएसआर के लिए।
बॉयज, एक चीज पूछना चाहूंगा, मतलब ये बहुत वियर्ड फीलिंग नहीं है कि एक टीम 10 पॉइंट्स पर गेम का एवरेज मेंटेन कर रही है, which we usually consider like कि चलिए ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया है। 10 पॉइंट पर मैच is like a average with which you can win tournaments। उनसे ऊपर कोई है with 108, isn't that a little weird?
Yeah, but it's just a start। यहाँ तो हर कोई अपनी स्ट्रेटजीज को सामने रखने की कोशिश कर रहा है। अगर आप 10 के एवरेज की बात कर रहे हैं, वेरी गुड, बट ना यहाँ से कोई जीतेगा। जहाँ पर जाकर के जीतने वाले हैं वहां पर तो स्मैश रूल है। नोंगशिम कैन डू दैट एज वेल।
नोंगशिम वैसा कर सकती है, लेकिन अब ये सवाल भी है कि क्या गॉडलाइक ये चीज कर सकती है? क्योंकि अभी पहला पड़ाव गेट टू द फाइनल्स, उसमें उस पड़ाव का जो जर्नी है वो स्टार्ट अच्छी हुई है। डे 1 टॉप 5 के अंदर में हमने फिनिश किया, बट डे नंबर 2 प्रेशर रहेगा। S2G जैसी लाइनअप बिल्कुल आपके टोस पे, आपके जस्ट पीछे है। दे आर ट्राइंग टू कैच अप। आज के क्या थॉट्स?
देखिए, मुझे ना सबसे अच्छी चीज लगती है कि जब इंसान को पता होता है कि वो कहाँ पर गलतियां कर रहे हैं और कहाँ पर सुधार करने की जरूरत है। कल एडमिनो का जब इंटरव्यू हुआ था उन्होंने कहा भी कि भाई हम थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे थे। एक्सपेरिमेंट वो ड्रॉप क्लैश वाला ही था जहाँ पर वो सोच रहे थे अगर फ्लाइट पाथ इस तरीके से है तो हम थोड़ा सा चले जाते हैं, क्या पता वहां पर वो प्लेयर नहीं पहुंचे या फिर हम पहले पहुंच जाएंगे। आज मैं मानता हूँ वो सारी चीजें करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ने वाली। पर इस पावर 6 मैचेस में 10 फिनिशेस, शानदार परफॉर्मेंस इनका रहा है। एडमिनो वो भी 9 फिनिशेस के साथ मौजूद हैं। ओवरऑल एक अच्छा गेम रहा है कल के दिन पर टीम गॉडलाइक का। 6 मैचेस में 37 पॉइंट्स उतना भी बुरा नहीं है।
लेकिन बात बस यही आती है कि हाँ, आज उनको कंसिस्टेंट होना पड़ेगा। कल हम सभी लोग थे जब बात करी गई थी कि इस गेम के 4 पिलर्स होते हैं, लैंडिंग, लूटिंग, रशिंग, सर्वाइवल। आपको अब क्या आपने अपने ड्रॉप लोकेशंस को स्विच कर लिया है? क्या आपने चेंज कर लिया अपने ड्रॉप लोकेशंस को? आपकी फाइट चली अच्छी जा रही है, लेकिन आखिरी मोमेंट तक चारों खिलाड़ी, ओजी के लिए भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर बना था कि जब उनके चिकन्स आए थे उनको चारों खिलाड़ी जीवित चाहिए थे। इस बार गॉडलाइक को उस तरीके से खेलना पड़ेगा। यहाँ पर अल्फा 7 के साथ ये जो फाइट है इसकी तो बहुत लोगों ने दाद दी है। जिस तरीके से ये फाइट निकाली गई थी, आज हमें सिर्फ प्रशंसा नहीं चाहिए, अगर मिले तो अच्छा है, लेकिन हमें एक और टीम ये दर्शाती हुई दिखाई जानी चाहिए कि भारतीय झंडा वापस से उस जगह पर आ चुका है जहां से वो कुछ समय पहले गया था, पर हम गायब नहीं हुए थे। वो सपना देखा था, उस सपने को हकीकत में बदलते बदलते ये आखिरी 6 मैच है।
जी बिल्कुल, आखिरी 6 मैचेस फॉर दीज ग्रुप स्टेजेस। और जैसा आपने कहा, आई थिंक गोल इस समय सिंपल है, टू टेक द फ्लैग टू द ग्रैंड फाइनल्स। गॉडलाइक आई थिंक उम्मीद इस समय सारे ही फैंस की इस एक लाइनअप से रहने वाली है। बस यही देखना है कि आज का दिन कैसा रहेगा। कल छोटी छोटी मिस्टेक जैसा आप दोनों ने भी पॉइंट आउट किया हुई थी, बट मेरे को एक चीज़ जो काफ़ी पसंद आई थी वो ये थी कि अमिड्स केओस भी ऐसा लग रहा था कि टीम फाइट कोऑर्डिनेशन काफ़ी ज़्यादा क्लीन हो रहा था। खासतौर से जो इरांगल के गेम में हमने देखा जिस तरह से अल्फा 7 के अगेंस्ट फाइट एग्जीक्यूट करी गई, सेम गेम में हो रहा ईस्पोर्ट्स के अगेंस्ट एक फाइट हमने होते हुए देखी थी, जहाँ पे कल आई थिंक एडमिनो काइंड ऑफ बिकेम द सेवियर फॉर द टीम। कई मौकों पे क्लचेस करे, टीम को बचाया। एक मीरामार का गेम था, आप काफ़ी अपसेट हो गए थे उसमें कि भाई क्लोज एंगल किसी ने चेक नहीं किया। आज आप क्या मैसेज दोगे? यही एडवाइस होगी कि चेक योर क्लोज एंगल्स।
पर उनको भी पता ही है ना कि वहाँ पर गलती हुई थी। जैसे मैं व्लॉग्स देख रहा था, वहाँ पर नूब एनालिस्ट जो है उन्होंने भी कॉम्स सुने प्लेयर्स की, कि उनको भी पता है कि भाई कौन से कॉल किस तरीके से चल रहे हैं और वहाँ पर वो जरूरी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिस करेंगे। तो टीम को पता है कहाँ पर गलतियां हुई है, अब उसे आज रेक्टिफाई करने की जरूरत है।
रेक्टिफाई करने की जरूरत रहेगी। बट चलिए, हमारी स्क्रीन्स पर हमारा प्राइस पूल भी आ चुका है। कुछ लास्ट ग्रुप स्टेज का थोड़ा सा प्रेशर बढ़ा देते टीम्स के ऊपर। देयर फाइटिंग
$71,000
$1,148,000। थोड़ा सा प्रेशर बढ़ाना था। We
भाई
cannot
साहब।
ignore it. पैसा सबको पसंद है। मेजी भाई को देखिए ऑलरेडी खुश होना शुरू हो चुके हैं। बट एक और चीज
Priceful check करो guys एक बार आप।
एंड दैट इज हैविंग अ कन्वर्सेशन विद आवर प्लेयर्स। बस जैसा मेजी बता रहे हैं, काफी चीजें होती हैं जो हम स्पेकुलेट करते हैं जब हम मैचेस देख रहे होते हैं, लेकिन जब कॉम्स पता चलते हैं, जब आप प्लेयर्स के चैनल्स पे जाते हैं, तब जाके उनसे बातचीत करके थोड़ा पता चलता है कि एग्जैक्टली सिचुएशन कैसी थी। तो इसीलिए स्पेरो जो कि घूमते रहते हैं EWC के अंदर, PMWC के अरीना के आसपास, वो जुड़े मान्य के साथ टू फाइंड आउट हाउ यस्टरडे वेंट एंड प्लान्स फॉर टुडे।
भाई देखते हैं क्या रहेगा सीन आज का।
साथ इस समय खड़े हैं गॉडलाइक के आईजीएल मान्या। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेल प्लेड यस्टरडे, आज का क्या प्लान रहेगा?
बेसिक्स पे स्टिक करना है और कल जो गलतियाँ की है नहीं करनी है, और जो भी लर्निंग हमें कल की मिली है, हमने जो भी डिस्कस किया, आज अच्छे से एग्जीक्यूट करना है और खुल के खेलना है बस।
मान्या, कल बहुत सारे ड्रॉप क्लैश हुए थे, कई ड्रॉप क्लैशेस हमें कॉस्ट भी करके गए। आज का ड्रॉप क्लैशेस के लिए क्या प्लान है?
कुछ सिचुएशंस में हम करेंगे अभी भी ड्रॉप क्लैश में भी, बाकी तो हम अवॉइड ही कर रहे हैं, बट हो सकता है हम करें भी।
ऑलराइट, हाउ इज द जोश इन द टीम?
सब चिल है, अपन तो चिल ही रहते। हम 3 मैच में जब हमारे पॉइंट्स नहीं तो भी हम बैठ के हंसी रहते हैं। हम वो डाउन फाउन नहीं होता, हम खुश रहते हैं।
खुश रहना बहुत जरूरी है, बट रोंडो सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है। व्हाट्स द प्लान फॉर रोंडो टुडे?
रोंडो में सेम प्लान सी है। कल तो, नहीं आए किल्स, आज थोड़ा बस यूलिन वाला चेंज किया है, देखते हैं। बाकी अपना जो बेसिक है, जो भी हम करते हैं वही करेंगे।
कल जो सबसे बढ़िया चीज देखने को मिली वो था गॉडलाइक का अग्रेशन। क्या आज वो डबल डाउन होते हुए देखने को मिलेगा?
एग्रेशन तो ठीक है, थोड़ा अपने को रुक के भी खेलना पड़ेगा एक टाइम के बाद। तो आज थोड़ा कंपोजर भी दिखेगा, एग्रेशन भी दिखेगा, सब दिखेगा।
ऑलराइट, थैंक यू सो मच मान्या, गुड लक फॉर टुडे।
थैंक यू सो मच फिरो भाई।
Love the energy, love the calm that was there in the काफी clear answers। मैं तो ये सोच रहा था कि हम तीनों की हेयर स्टाइल सेम है, तो अगर मैं दाढ़ी बढ़ा लूं ओशन, तो क्या मैं अभी मान्य जितना अच्छा खेल सकता हूँ?
नहीं, आप उतना अच्छा नहीं खेल पाएंगे। बिल्कुल दिख जरूर वैसे जाएंगे, और शायद आपका वो एक्सपर्ट एनालिसिस और ज्यादा बेहतर हो जाए। ऑब्वियसली अभी भी है, बट व्हाट आई फील इज कि लाइक जो उन्होंने रोंडो की स्टार्ट की बात करी है, that can be a deciding factor कि आज उनका स्टार्टिंग मोमेंटम कैसा होगा। कल मैं इनफैक्ट, अगर मेरे पास थोड़ा सा समय हो बात करने के लिए, कल मैंने होरा के मैनेजमेंट से बात करी थी, तो उन्होंने भी यही बात कही थी कि उनकी टीम भी एक मोमेंटम के ऊपर बेस होकर के जाती है। सो आई थिंक अगर गॉडलाइक को भी एक वैसा मोमेंटम मिलता है फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग गेम, something can change।
I mean, ये बात आपने काफी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट आउट करा है कि वो रोंडो का चेंज काफी क्रिटिकल हो सकता है फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द डे। एक बारी कास्टर्स को चलिए इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में हमारे साथ जोड़ते हैं। वी हैव वंस अगेन मिस्टर इंजीनियर वाईटी और TTR XD। आप लोगों के क्या थॉट्स हैं? अभी आप लोगों ने भी इंटरव्यू सुना होगा, काफ़ी सारी डिटेल्स आज के बारे में और इनफैक्ट कल के परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में मान्य ने मेंशन करी। इंजीनियर, आपसे स्टार्ट करना चाहूँगा, योर थॉट्स ऑन द चेंज ऑफ यूलिन, एंड ऑफ कोर्स ही आल्सो मेंशन्ड कि अग्रेशन भी आज थोड़ा सा ड्रॉप करेंगे।
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं ओशिन भाई की बात से पूरे तरीके से एग्री करता हूँ। मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि गॉडलाइक मोमेंटम ड्रिवन टीम है, होरा भी वैसी ही टीम है। जब इन्हें मोमेंटम मिलता है तो फिर वो बहुत बेहतर तरीके से खेलते हुए नजर आते हैं। और उसके साथ साथ जो इंटरव्यू की बात हुई स्पीरो से, वहां पर भी मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जो मान्या कह रहे हैं कि हाँ ड्रॉप फाइट हो सकती है, मुझे लगता है कि ओशियन जो हमने बैकएंड पे बात करी थी, रोजॉक शायद उनका इरादा हो सकता है।
मुझे भी वैसा ही सेम ही लगता है, बट एट द सेम टाइम मुझे ये भी लगता है कि कल आखिर में जाते जाते जो मोमेंटम उन्होंने गेन किया है, उसी को आगे कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना चाहेंगे, एंड आई होप कि एक बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस है।
जी, और आज की भी थोड़ी डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं। रोंडो से मोमेंटम स्टार्ट होगा, बट बाय द एंड ऑफ द डे वेयर आर वी होपिंग टू सी गॉडलाइक?
देखिए, अराउंड 82-83 पॉइंट्स मैं अराउंड कट ऑफ मान के चल रहा हूँ, और इतनी कट ऑफ के लिए आपको आज के दिन 45 पॉइंट चाहिए, 45 पॉइंट्स। तो हाँ, रोंडो बहुत ज़्यादा क्रूशियल ज़रूर हो जाता है, जहाँ पर आप एक अच्छा गेम प्ले दिखाएं तो जी हाँ, एक अच्छा स्टार्ट मिलता है। बट ओवरऑल अभी भी मैं ये कहता हूँ कि 3 एरेंगल के गेम वो बहुत ज़्यादा क्रूशियल होंगे।
जी, TTR, आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन, आपको क्या लगता है कितने पॉइंट्स पे पहुँच पाएंगे?
आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि 78 to 80 पॉइंट्स इनफ रहेंगे, टॉप 5 में भी रहने वाले हैं एंड शुरुआती गेम होप फॉर द बेस्ट।
अभी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस अमेजिंग इनसाइट्स इंजीनियर एंड टीटीआर, बिकॉज अभी एक चीज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, दोनों ने कट ऑफ मेंशन करी, इंजीनियर हैज इट ओवर 80, टीटीआर इन द मिड 70s। मेजी फिलहाल जो ओवरऑल लीडर बोर्ड के हालात हैं, कल भी हमने ये चीज डिस्कस करी थी कि हो सकता है ग्रुप बी की कट ऑफ थोड़ी सी कम रहे।
यहाँ पर सवाल हमेशा वही होता है कि अगर एक टीम खराब खेलती है तो कट ऑफ में उतना ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ता, पर अगर आप देखें 3 टीम ऐसी है जो बहुत बढ़िया खेल रही है, मैं एक बार के लिए ई अरीना को भी ऐड कर लूंगा रोंडो में, क्योंकि अगर रोंडो में कल का आधा भी आज वो खेलते हैं तो भी वो टीम बहुत ऊपर निकल जाने वाली है। पर उसके
भाई
बाद
बट टैलेंटी ने जो स्कोर सेट कर रखा है देखा जाए तो तक पहुंचना
दिखाई दी,
बहुत मुश्किल है।
सबसे बड़ा उसका रीजन था कि जोन किस तरीके से बना है, कितनी सारी टीम
108 पॉइंट भाई,
एलिमिनेट हो रही थी
और सेकंड नंबर पर जो टीम है वो 60 पॉइंट के साथ है।
टीम्स बच रही है तो दर्शाता है कि भाई
मतलब देखा जाए तो पूरा उसका डबल 60 का
में वो फाइट्स बहुत ज्यादा लेते हैं, मुश्किल है उनके लिए
निकालना होगा।
तो जिंदगी का
मतलब 60 पॉइंट 50 पॉइंट तो लेकर के आना ही होगा भाई।
बट अभी लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन बारी आ चुकी है हमारी एक बार फिर से स्टेज की तरफ आगे बढ़ने की। इट्स द लास्ट डे ऑफ द ग्रुप स्टेजेस और ये बहुत ही ज्यादा इंटेंस
लो भाई मैच शुरू होने वाला है।
6 मैचेस डिसाइड करेंगे ये टॉप 5 नेम्स जो जाएंगे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स की तरफ। कौन से नाम जाएंगे सर्वाइवल और कौन से नाम होंगे यहाँ से बाहर। सो लेट्स जस्ट हेड टुवर्ड्स द स्टेज।
लेट्स गो।
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue. Yesterday was the day of records. Today, we will find out who will get to the final and who will get eliminated.
That's right. Today, the reality is that dreams will end. And so that's the nature of this competition. But I can guarantee you that none of these teams will go down without a fight.
Yeah, Bunny, we've seen it before. Like, it's always the same. You can just... Standing can change in just a few good or bad games.
That's right. So whether you are at home or right here in the Port de Versailles, in the heart of Paris, it is time to see who will rise above the rest and continue their journey in the PMWC. Starting with Esports.
TT Project.
ETSH Esports.
World Esports.
Nongshim Red Force.
Tianba.
Dopeness.
Hustler Crew.
Alpha 7.
भाई जैसे तो काफी सेक्सी है इनकी।
Godlike Esports.
ओह नमस्ते।
721 GS Esports.
Team Vitality.
S2G Esports.
Hora Esports.
And finally, your defending PMWC champs, Young Galacticos. Nous y voici. After just 6 games, the top 5 will make it into the finals. Some will survive, and the bottom 3 will see their key sent to the crusher.
The level of competition on this stage is staggering. This isn't luck, it's instinct, it's preparation, and it's synergy. It's time for Group B to come to a close. Let's find out who has what it takes. "16 teams have patiently waited on the sidelines for their chance to shine. Players who are hungry to make a statement on the Gdynia City grid."
It is time to introduce our team, ETSH Esports. Alpha 7 Esports, Team Vitality.
And finally, your defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos.
Day 3 of the PMWC group stage at EWC 2026 starts right now.
Back-to-back blows taken their way. Vitality trying to win out versus Nonshin Red Force. Yangon left with just Smile, but that might turn into a frown if they can get the angle onto him.
But Smile dropped off the top side. He's doing good work here. A grin appearing on his mouth. Now looks for one more, steps up and gets it. A 1v4 essentially for Smile.
Sleepy with a warning shot. The buggy comes by. Close quarters engagement as Vitality look to hold on. No fear down. More damage done.
Last left alive here. An incredible player on 9 elims this game. It's a hard fight though. A 1 versus 2. Molotov goes long. He runs straight into it though. Keeps backing off into the nade. It might be lights out for Axel soon.
Oh, that's the nade to do it as Hora. They lay claim to the second chicken dinner. Are we got the Alpha 7 fans in the house? So let's see if Alpha 7 can bring the thunder on the close quarters engagement. Goodbye, Milu, as Tiamba get hit by the front of the vehicle. Quick flicks coming out from A7.
And that's exactly what's happening, because you got another can of Yunbin down south with that P90, and that is it. It's a back-to-back chicken dinner on the side of Nongshim Red Force.
Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for TZ, is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the evenings.
And that's it.
Burn yourself down to the ground, because Vitality live on top of the tables and beating a 2-day performance from Group A.
What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches.
क्या ट्रॉफी है भाई अंदर में, तो मार्बल कंचे जैसा लग रहा है तो.
Alrighty, I mean स्टेज पे जो एनर्जी है वो हम काफी अच्छे से देख चुके हैं. टीम्स बिल्कुल ही तैयार. क्या कर रहे हैं आप?
मैं वो होरा के जो पीछे प्लेयर्स थे, तो मैंने सोचा कि मतलब
ये
उनका स्वागत भी बड़ा मस्त हुआ है. आई मीन है तो देखो क्यूटीज.
मैं कह रहा था ये शॉट हमारे दाई के नाम.
दाई रोम रोम.
But last thoughts before we jump into the action. Who do you think? आप इतना शांत क्यों हैं आज?
देखिए थोड़ा सा, जी हाँ, तबीयत नाशाज जरूर है. जी नाशाज थोड़ा सा तबीयत मेरी जरूर है, पर मैं कहता हूँ कि यार टीम के लिए कुछ भी, हम यहाँ पर बैठे हैं और टीम काफी ज्यादा बढ़िया खेलेगी.
ठीक है, तो पोज हो गया.
But we were pushing the limits.
Literally, I mean, it's so crazy to see a team. 4 Thrives in Group A did so well. Yeah. They topped the tables, and they almost got passed up in points in just one single day, right? So we're going into day 2 here. A lot, yeah, it's time to say your prayers. Really make sure you are locked in, meditate, and focus, because getting into that grand finals here and now is so critical because of those point sponges. We're going to see most likely some monster squads in that survival stage.
रोंडो का पहला मैच शुरू होने वाला है.
We are indeed. And of course, that's in reality, if you're able to push through, live on to fight for the survival stage, have a chance to make it to finals. Our teams that are crowned strong enough will go right through here from Group B, joining some of the best from Group A. And then again, Jukes, we've got to crush those keys and say bye-bye to 3 of our squads.
Ooh, yeah, 3 teams going home today. So you got to make sure that you put everything on the line. But it's time, folks. Here we go. Match number 1 of the second and last day of Group B and our group stage.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Is that all we got, Paris? Can we get a little bit louder?
Let's go.
ओ भाई साहब कितना बैकग्राउंड में साउंड देखो यार.
Getting fired up in the building. Live from EWC 26 for PMWC.
भाई क्या क्रेजी सीन होने वाला है.
and it's none other than Rondo. All I know is that now
भाई रोंडो भाई
I just
रिकॉल
wanna
कितना है
see
यहाँ रोंडो में
stadium
भैंस की आँख
finishes every single day going forward. But I don't think we're going to see that here.
तो कितना ज़्यादा
I don't
रिकॉल
even
दिख
know
रहा
if
है
we'll ever see a 39-point game ever, right? But who knows?
History, bro.
That was history.
Crazy.
That was history. But let's see what's going to happen here now. Teams are starting to pop out. I wonder which squads did their homework, because in Group A, we saw some squads find those recall players, take some teams out early, right? So I wonder if we're going to see that here. I wonder what's on the mindset of Team Vitality today, because they're a lock, right? They're going to the grand finals. Today could be a great day for them to make some tweaks, some adjustments, even take some risks, right? Like, hey, this is our weakness. Let's work on it here and now, so that way we're prepped, ready, so we can get that big $1.7
लो भाई
million
क्लैश शुरू हो
prize
गया
pool in the finals.
For some of our sides that struggled yesterday, can they come alive
भाई
even
साहब
more? We're straight into
क्या
it,
हॉट
the
ड्रॉप बन गया
classic
ये
battle.
A7
Neox
काकू से मार
starts
रही
us
है
off as the shots are coming through. Swinging the blade immediately there, mate.
Obscure knifing some players here. Alpha 7, a team everybody's got their eyes on today, and we got the Wolves who were able in the final games yesterday to push
A7
themselves
wall
out of that bottom
ETS
three. And now they're facing some
वहाँ
titans
EA
in
की
this
फाइट हो
lobby.
रही
You
है
got ETSH, that's a squad that needs to put something in here. Now you got EA as well.
भाई रिकॉल जितना ज़्यादा था ना बंदे उतने खुल के फाइट ले रहे हैं ओह क्या बचा है वो
Barely getting those shots through that little tiny angle, but oh, that one was a good one. Effect making it happen here with the S12K.
ओह क्रेजी भाई
That's how you do it.
1v2 कर दिया STT ने तो
The arena having a bit of a struggle starts there on the drop in towards Neox, looking to get that early point accumulated off the back of it. And TT happy to take those duels quite comfortably. 3 Elam points to start us off. Obviously, Rondo's Rondo, so don't worry. There'll be a lot more action yet to come.
Oh, yeah. Non-stop action here. You can see 721GS getting a knock there onto ETSH. That's actually a very important fight here. Oh, wow. There we go. Fahida turning up the heat. Making us proud. You can see down on the bottom left, Alpha 7 crowd always so hyped, excited for their team here. They're not too far away from that top 5. Game right here could definitely put them in a good spot. Meanwhile, you got Nasser. He's got that S12.
इधर से कवर दे रहा है
Ready for it. Oh, he's
इधर से
wide open though. He's got to be careful. Never mind. Rehan said, let's go find another angle.
Oh,
क्रेजी भाई
quick as
क्या
well.
क्विक निकल के मारा है
A nice connection on the doorway. Off ankle play for Fahita, seeing if he can do too much more from this. They're going to try and bait him in, close the door, and keep him guessing. Rest of the squad going down in the meanwhile, though.
Oh,
the
crazy
headshot. Hello.
That's what I'm talking about. Jumping and from the top ropes, able to hit that shot and save his squad. So 721GS should be able to
दबा के
get
पॉइंट निकाल रहा है भाई यहाँ पे
reset
बंदे
here. ETSH quick on that recall, their recall player not messing around here. But we're going to see these teams really get set up and good to go. Young on Galacticos only have that single player up, taking a little bit of time here to get that recall in.
And the Yangon crew, quite far out, all the way over towards Fora.
Oh,
Can't really get to the recall either, bro.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I was like, where is he? And it looks like that's actually something we should actually take a look at, because Romeo is going to be heading towards TT Project Niaz to try and get his recall in for his team. And that would be a devastating loss for Young Galacticos to go out right here, considering that they're right there on that cutoff in 6th place.
They didn't have the best run of things yesterday in some of the matches, so if this is the way they start,
पीछे बैकग्राउंड में भाई कितने नॉइज आ रहे हैं मतलब बंदे चेयर अप जो कर रहे हैं पर कम है देखा जाता अगर इंडिया में और ना भाई क्या शोर होता फिर
like Duke said though, Neon's in position to try to defend against that recall. Could be awkward. We'll stick with the fight.
क्या ही बचा है बंदा ओह
The Kings yesterday.
पिच करके मारा सीट
But can they keep it up right now? Clash versus Dopeness, back and forth blows. Axel going down as well. He's a key piece of the puzzle already removed. Oh, this is
भाई
not
शॉटगन से प्रेस लगा
Jukes.
कर मारो ना बहुत से चिपकती है
Right out of the open there, getting that shot. Very, very nice on the side of Dopeness. And
और
that
बस
is
शॉटगन
how
का
you
ये
get it
कॉम्बो
done. Now, it does look that like Young Galacticos Romeo was avoiding that fight. He saw TT Project there. He ends up going most likely all the way down to Long Ho. And he should be able to get that res for his squad in just a couple of minutes. But this circle is on the south side here. We got Nongshim
4
Red
किल
Force
निकाल दिया भाई
all the
हाइड्रा
way
ने.
in the north. Things are finally
4
starting to
टीटियां
settle
निकाल
down
दिए.
a little bit. Actually, never mind. It's the Wolves versus Alpha 7. And
Oh, भाई क्या नेट था.
getting caught out with that nade. Obscure holding this angle, waiting for someone to cross. Oh, but here comes Godlike.
Godlike got that nice nade off the top
Oh,
side
nice.
of Madamino. Up close and personal, they're taking the fight to Alpha 7 as well. Battling both of these squads simultaneously. It'll be a great start for Godlike. Jukes get some early energy into today's games.
क्या नेट करा भाई. मां
Throwing that
कसम.
nade up the stairs, catching him off. Necessary holding those angles. He's doing those tight peaks in a 1v2 situation.
Oh.
It's Godlike too strong to defeat, and they
5 पॉइंट भाई
are
5
looking
किल
to be
निकाल
the
दिए. क्या
kings
मारिए
of
Godlike.
Neox Factory.
Oh, that's Power's
कौन
fired
मार
up
रही है
as
भाई ये
well,
तो.
dude. From one fight to the next.
He's like, what's up over there?
Side, dude.
What's over there behind that tree, huh? Throwing them nades. Has he had the arm?
ओ
to
बच
get
गया
it?
भाई.
That looks good. Ah, it's a little short.
ओह क्या नॉक करा है भाई. क्या मारी है भाई Godlike.
Bro, S-Power is fired up today.
Yes, he is. Already getting some good
क्या
solid
घुस-घुस
points.
के मार
That's
रही
6
है.
on the side of Godlike. That puts them in a good, solid position in 5th place. And this is the thing. If
भाई रिकॉर्ड करना
Godlike
चाहिए ये तो.
win this game, what is that going to look like for these leaderboards? That's going to be a massive, massive gap between 5th and 6th place.
That's the thing, the artificial barrier right now. It's very fine margin, so many point vacuums on towards the top spots. If Godlike could start out and really give themselves the best case scenario to bolster their points, could change the flow of things. That's Romeo. And Yangon Galacticos obviously went down very early. Had to go for the rotate around and get his team back.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You got to make sure you hit that recall tower real quick. S2G got to hit them plays, though. Rion getting that thirst. Yes, indeed. And you can see Masco got that heal off and shuts him down. That is how you do it there. So 7-2-1.
Godlike इसके पास ही है.
But you know what else? You guys can make it happen in game with the lucky spin that's coming out, guys. Make sure you guys get in there, hit that draw, and you can get some of those insane PMWC tournament sets. Meanwhile, 7-2-1 gets a nice knock there onto S-Power. Godlike really looking to shut this fight down. It's a 1v2 situation. He gets one.
Here we
Gets
go.
the thirst. Can he get the second?
Beautiful scene so far. Damage back done onto S-Power, but can the squad still save it? Ooh, quick shot, Jukes. Got to throw the clip.
नहीं अरे नहीं यार.
He thought he was
जंप
sick enough
भारी
to
पड़ गया.
mantle, but he gets the shot off.
That had to be an accident right there. I mean, I'm sure he had his jump and climb split buttons.
Crazy, bhai,
Sometimes
crazy.
we have some people combine it, but if you get just a little too close, you get that animation jumping up.
8
and you
किल
know he was
निकाल
just
दिए
like,
भाई.
oh, it's over. And
He's so exposed. No chance to fight, bro.
कान
it's
फाड़ दी भाई Godlike ने तो.
so tough. But you know what? That is great on the side of Godlike. So they take full advantage of it. Now we're seeing the zone pop dead center here as TT Project gonna go ahead and get this ready. He's carrying his teammate there. There you go. He's moving up the hill.
वो shotgun?
Knocking down Aura here. And Jiggle
क्या
does have
shotgun
an
चल रही है
angle,
भाई
but they
यहाँ.
should be able to get to safety. Oh, no fear, never mind. Yeah, no fear on the other end. He's going to go ahead and get his revenge for his teammate there and take out 2 on the side of TT Project.
Yeah, this is far more awkward now. Trapped back just on the rock side towards the coastline. FS cooking the nade, wants to dash that towards No Fear. Too shallow, few more left in the inventory though. They can try and hold him back for at least a few more seconds. But they're the ones that are at panic stations. Aura waiting for the opportunity to strike.
Uh-oh.
F is so low off the engage. Effect though, reels them in. He's looking for the flush on it as well.
Oh no, but he jumps down into the water. That actually could be a workout for him. Let's see if he's going to climb that hill. And it looks like he's trying to find the angle. He does. Here we go. Now they have 2 different angles they can actually fight this from. Evius just says, now I'm jumping down with my teammate. 2v1 situation.
अरे नहीं हो गया.
Hit the shots. And now No Fear is at the advantage. Never mind. What is happening? Shots back and forth. But No Fear finally shuts him down.
गेम बच गया इसका तो.
A nail-biting fight on that one. They can at least recover. Still have 3 of their players alive for Hora as well and build
बढ़िया
off the
मारा
back
भाई,
of
बढ़िया
this.
मारा
That's
लेकिन
8 Elim points they've racked up, leading the lobby right now.
That's the worst case scenario for this lobby because that's really like the only slot that's available there for the finals, considering how well these other teams did. And Godlike are looking to close the door here nice and early, saying, you know what, if you want to try to get into the finals, you're going to need to win at least a couple games because we got such a point lead. And that is how you start it there. 8 eliminations, full squad up. It's looking good for the side of Godlike. Oh, Romeo. Sky, run for your life. Drive away. And it looks like he is going to barely escape that one.
Romeo. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? On the bridge, getting Elims, but that's
ओ यार
where it
Godlike
is.
down हो गया सौम्या.
Woo! He was looking right at the sky there, and that is Aura. Now we're going to look at No Fear, Get Thirsted, Young Galacticos. Gonna actually
Godlike
get
की fight
into
हो
this
गई
next
शायद. ये
game
नो निक
as the circle
अच्छा अकेले होगा तभी
shifts
नॉक हो
up
गया
to
वो.
the north side now. They are in the blue. This is still stage 3. They can eat a little bit of this circle for now, but it's time to finally find out where that next spot's going to be.
It's been more uncomfortable for Hora then, as they do get away with only that duo, and this could potentially be an even more uncomfortable entry back over towards the zone, as they've got to bypass Alpha 7. Vision onto them.
अरे भाई तो उतार ही दिया.
Vehicle. Good shot from range, consistent with the orb to shut down another one, and only Jiggle gets out. 9 Elims might be where they reach and end this one.
And this whole tournament has been so chaotic. You want to avoid the survival stage at all costs. Yeah, it's 6 teams out of 16 moving on from that stage. Still, though, I mean, you do not want to be put in that situation. I'm talking to you, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Team Vitality getting into it with 7-2-1 GS. They do end up having one player knocked. Team Vitality. So strong yesterday. Gonna go out early here. They didn't get 4 eliminations, but like I said, they can do whatever the heck they want today.
Yeah, this is a quiet one for them. They've already done the hard part. Fair play, though, mate. On the other side of the spectrum, right? Yes, Vitality, our top dogs, they're out. But look who's climbing up from the depths. This is now 11 eliminations they've picked up, getting over the safety of the threshold so far, Jukes. Maintain this, you could save your tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a perfect start on the side of 7-2-1 GS. And considering that it's in Rondo, right? The chance to really make up for a bad day one, and they're doing it, right? I mean, double-digit eliminations. Now it's all about just getting into that end game. So I want to see them get themselves in a good, solid position and just focus up. Because
भाई क्या Godlike मार रही है
Hustler's crew, right?
उसको उसको फाड़ रही है
have
तो
not done anything so far.
No, they really haven't, and Dopeness as well. You know,
8
that's
point
just a
पहले मैच
solo.
में.
Couple elims, sure, but it's been quiet outside of that. That was the third-party fight that opened things up to allow them to collapse onto it. The replay here is when Dopeness lost a lot of their members up against Vitality. Curious Jukes as well. I think mechanically yesterday we saw Alpha 7 look very good in terms of how they were approaching the game, but they never had any luck on their side.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was saying. You know, I was looking at their numbers for the past 2 international tournaments. They were getting tons of eliminations and like 0 placement points. Very, very low on that end. And so I want to see them get into finally some late games and show what they can do.
Yeah.
It's just been so difficult lately, especially when you have a few teams just do something so insane, right? It's wild to see what happened yesterday. But today's a new day. Another team that I want to see make something happen is Tianba, right? I expected a lot from this squad. And now they are still very far down the leaderboard. You can see them pushing into that circle from the south side. Let's see if they can make it up here in Rondo.
For Alpha 7, their eyes might be lighting up off the back of the recall for Dopeness. They're all parachuting back in relatively close by. Could be a chance for those 3 to fight with the arena in close proximity, but Tianba are in the move, back in towards the zone. Godlike not far out with Manya. Just up on the ridge side there, supported by the rest of the crew. It was a bumpy early game for Yangon, but after that recall, they've been pretty comfortable, at least on their rotation path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it worked out well for them, especially considering that They were pretty late in this game because of that recall. It took a long, long time. But, you know, that's the way this game works. Sometimes those circles just shift and the fights happen in such a perfect way where you're able to sneak your way into zone pretty clear. It doesn't happen often, so when it does, you got to take advantage of it. And it's no better place to happen, honestly, in Rondo, right? The game where you could end up with 39 points.
It's all about those big finishes. Curious if there's a chance we get a bit of an extension into each other there with Dopeness. Right on top of Smile. He's the one player that's fragmented off from the 1-3 split they've currently got going. SayCloud further out doing a bit of scouting as well. This is the establishing shot for Tian, but Godlike obviously far more set up with cover to work with off the back of the warehouses. Tian, but not so lucky.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hold this little valley right here and hold it good for now. Not a terrible spot in this next zone, not the best either, but this is Tianba after all. Still pretty wild to see them down in 12th place, 24 points. Very uncharacteristic and unexpected, at least from a lot of people here. You got QZZ, a superstar that can really ring things out. But all it takes is, for a lot of these teams, just one good situation where their back's against the wall and let their gun skill shine. And, I mean, I would not be shocked with Tianba, who has 0 points right now. They could end up with 20 very easily here.
72-1 GS as well. Still looking to see if they can squeeze any more points out of this one. Dopeness taking the hits onto Alpha 7. A bit of a back and forth already. Ravo looking to close the gap as he drives by. Good control. Switching seats and hitting shots as he puts them down. And quite quickly, manhandles Dopeness. They do lose Carrillo though, so it will be a 3-man squad for the A7 crew.
Yeah, you can see the crowd showing off them Rebo jerseys. The man, the myth, the legend is here, and he is putting in some work. This is what we needed to see from A7. 8 eliminations so far. You're right. Yeah, Carrillo did get taken out, but for 8 elims, that is a sacrifice that you got to be willing to take. But job's not done yet. Still a lot more work if you want to make it straight to those finals, and they do get a nice knock there onto Mormon.
Alpha 7. Looking like they're starting to hit that high tempo. Caught whiff of the arena further back and take pot shots onto them. Meanwhile, before the zone moves, you can see Ida took a few shots over the Hustler crew, and that's the crunch in, Jukes.
That's the crunch in that's going to make things interesting. The circle goes to the north side. That's huge on the side of Godlike right here. A perfect zone shift for them. Taking a look there at the leaderboards so far. This is the problem, though, right? I mean, we were so hype about Alpha 7. 9 eliminations. This is a great game, right? The problem is that you're hunting down 5th place. Godlike have 8. So you've only closed that gap by 1 point so far.
Try as they might, there's still so much more to do. And even then, during the map feed, we could see like they were getting consistent damage back over to E Arena. So they're not giving up any of this fight. They're still looking like they want to try. They know the win condition, Jukes.
Yeah. This is the problem, though, right? If you don't have a great day 1, you could have a good, solid day 2, but it could be too late, right? Especially if you see consistency from those top 5 teams. They're going to keep on pushing that point threshold even further and further beyond. So for Alpha 7, if you want to catch up to top 5, yeah, the 10-point game isn't going to be enough. You're going to need a 20 to try and close that gap. So they still are in this game with 3 players up. The problem is that Godlike is as well, and so is every team that really matters, because Vitality, no one captured them. They can go out early. But for everybody else still here, it's going to make things interesting.
72-1 GS going in on Alpha 7. They got an opening knock. They want to try and capitalize off it, Jukes. They've swung rounds. That's one tag back over, but it doesn't look like it's going well from the elimination feed right now. This could be the downfall of Alpha 7. Seems like it's just a solo remaining, trying to hold on to it. This is the POV.
There we go. We got it now. You can see Guizao trying to get some shots down range. Shooting, busted some vehicles here all over the place, but he gets put in a blender. E-Arena, they heard that fight happen, and they came to disrupt it, and they definitely did. But now Young Galactico said, oh, you want some of that action? We'll take some of that as well. And they take him out.
Clean up through plays. Goodbye, E-Arena. See you later, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Godlike have been battling versus ETSH. It's all kicking off around the zone. 72-1 GS. They thought they were cooking with gas. Silenced on the clock back there. Yangon Galacticos. Trying to get them to remember their name, Jukes. They got to say it with their chest.
What an interesting play, honestly. 7-2 on GS, 15 eliminations, doing so good. They're like, yeah, let's go to the spot where we just saw two teams get wiped out immediately. And unfortunately, one of their players gets knocked. But here comes the rest of these squads.
Godlike popping off on the top side. They shut down ETSH. Big plays from Godlike as the crowd starts to give them even more energy. Meanwhile, this encounter between 72 Watt GS and Yangon Galacticos rages on. Arcs the nades in. Stereo setup, Dukes. Here comes the boom.
Bang, bang, bang. 7-2-1 GS getting punished by Yangon Galacticos. Tough start for them, and now looking to finish strong. It's all up to Masco. And those nades are just inching closer and closer. He's got to hit some shots here to buy himself some time.
Ooh, zone shift as well, crunching in. It's still good for Godlike.
The crowd went nuts.
They're loving that.
The second they saw that shift, they're like, that's what I'm talking about. It's our game to win. And this is worst case scenario, literally for the entire lobby, because that's the one team you didn't want to pop off, because that was the one slot that looked juicy, available. But now it's looking like it's long gone. Let's see what Yangon Galacticos can do, though. They're going to start pushing up on the Masco. Yeah, Masco, oh, man, those blades, those shots too strong. No way he survives this. Yeah, he's a goner.
Yangon Galacticos, slowly but surely, getting their head above water, piecing together some big plays, but Tianba, are they the squad that can clash and take this goods location off of Godlike? Well, S-Power's nade has other ideas, and Adamino also steps up to the plate, leaving two of the Tianba squad down on the deck. This is the push in from Milu. Shotgun, low HP on Godlike, quick shots, but he can't quite find it. Panic stations, Duke, they're all going down.
S-Power is shutting down this monster squad. Said, oh, I hear you coming this way. Eat some of these nades, baby. And now QZZ stuck in the blue zone. He's just going to go out here. He said, you know what? Deny the point, and Godlike looking unstoppable here in this match.
Do we need to say more? The energy of the arena here in Paris says enough about the excitement from the plays from Godlike. And like you said early, they're ruling the roost, gifted the angle to stay where they wanted to be with the zone, and Tianba was the only squad that tried to fight them for it, and they failed.
Hey, you know what? Some people could say that's a lucky shift, but Godlike, they're making their own luck here. Tianba pushed up, and they shut that down so dang fast. Yangon Galacticos, they're in trouble here. They're on that south side. They're outside of the zone. They're getting gate kept by everybody down here. Now it's all up to Say Cloud to make a play for his team and try to get these reses. He's going to throw the smoke, but the zone is closing. Yeah, Say Cloud's going to be the only one up left.
So low in HP, in a horrible position.
And here comes Blue. And bye-bye.
Give yourself up to it. Unless there's a hero play to be made, it'd have to be something miraculous.
Oh.
I mean, they've got a divot off the back of the damage to the terrain. He could save Romeo with at least Nonshin Red Force attention right now, not being hard stuck on him. I mean, Dukes, it's better than going out.
Got him up, and that does deny the point at least. So if they go down the blue zone, then they're going to deny it here. Romeo inching up little by little is going to try to make a play, though. Here he goes, throwing some nades out. Gets knocked there. And so easy said, yeah, no, I'm getting that confirmation. I need those points.
Just Say Cloud left them. He's still got a ton of utility left to work with as he throws in that nade. Zone eating away at him. I mean, it's good chip damage, and it's even making it more enticing for Godlike to take pot shots at him. He's just trying to buy time to live out.
Yeah, he's using that heal strat to maybe even get a little bit of extra placement. The problem is though, that the second the zone pops in 5 seconds, he's gone. So let's see. Can he even get that heal off? Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yeah, so his play zone is going to take out Yangon Galacticos there, as Nongshim Red Force are the team holding the south side, but Godlike are just spreading their wings here, saying it's time. We want all these eliminations. Let's shut down this game in some beautiful fashion.
How far can they take it? A quieter approach to things from S2G on this one. Nonshin playing it smart, playing their cards close to their chest, but they've suffered a fair bit of damage off the back of being pinned into this position, being shot at from 2 angles. Whereas Godlike, they've just been ruling the roost, Jukes.
I mean, they got a baker's dozen already. They're looking real good. 13 eliminations. And look at this, finding those tight angles, tight peaks. They know this game's in the bag here. It's literally Godlike's game to lose. Let's see if they can close it out, though. That's always going to be the question. Oh, nonstop there. They are toast, dude. They're forced to run out in the wide open. No smokes available. And, man, they just get deleted. Godlike soaking up all these eliminations. If you're nonstop Red Force, honestly, it's really interesting to see them kind of go for this strategy here, as they're going to be feeding a lot of points on the side of Godlike. And that is 16 on the day. Then Group B's rondos have just been ridiculous.
Yeah, we've not seen anything like it, man. Some crazy games. As you'd expect, nonstop, they had no pathway back in to try and vie for contest this game. So the last man falls, and this is what it comes down to. STG versus Godlike. They had a bit of a scouting play. They found this duo of Mania up towards the top side. Might want to actually collapse on it. Lost goes in quick. S-Power cooking the nade. Good chip damage from Mania. Switches to the shotgun. Baits them in. He wants to fight, and the nade from S-Power once again is a delight for this roster, as they are sending reverberations throughout the Kadia City grid, bringing the heat down on S2G.
S-Power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G trying to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
Is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, bears. It's Godlike's time to shine.
The energy of this arena says enough about the excitement and the plays that this team has been making, and they deserve every bit of celebration they're getting, Jukes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this was that one slot that looked like it was available. The top four looking very far away, very out of reach. But Godlike say, you know what? Let's just shut that door right here and right now. This top five is locked, right? Now, at the same time, there's still quite a few games left here, right? You got to put up consistent points. But if those top five do that, it may just be too far to reach.
That's the scary bit, right? Is obviously some of the other squads that were above the teams that were looking to climb, they fell out pretty early there. Like Vitality not getting a great game out of this one. Godlike capitalizing where it matters most. Like you say, dude, you've made it so much harder for the mid-portion teams. You want to get into finals? Yeah, good luck. You might just have to go to survival, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, even a team like Alpha 7, who was doing great this game, right? They had a good, solid amount of eliminations, but at the end of the day, you know, you could put up a 15-point game. If the team you're hunting down puts down 16, you did nothing. As a matter of fact, now you're behind a point, right? So that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. It takes full-fledged consistency in both days, and look at that. I mean, they just basically said, hey, bring it, baby. Good luck. Try catching us now.
Oh, yeah. Pulling ahead. Everyone's blowing up. You can hear the excitement, bro. It's insane, the energy we've got here right now at EWC. And it's a spectacle to behold. You come in to what was an explosive day yesterday of sheer talent, unexpected results, crazy circles, and then we start to run it back all over again.
Oh, that is how you do it right there, guys. Let's get it going here. We got some more action coming up in just a bit.
Here at PMWC at EWC 26, we have many activities that we can do before the games, in between the games, and after the games. And I think Max is there currently doing something. So let's see if maybe we can go in and give him a bit of a challenge, as he almost just absolutely ate it. Max, come over here, Max.
I'm training. I'm doing my routine.
No. I think you've been training. Let's do a 1v1. Pick a spot somewhere over here. If you make it, I'll try to match the shot.
I'm going to wreck you.
Oh, let's see if he can actually do this. All right. Come on now.
On the X.
Okay. All right. On the X. Let's see if it's going to go in.
I checked the math. The best way to throw a basketball is actually the granny shot like this.
Let's see if it's going to happen. Oh my. Okay. You know what? I'll give it a chance.
I'm just giving you a chance right now.
Okay. Here. Hold on to this.
Okay. Come on. Mr. 7WG in the court. Yeah, the granny shot. From behind. No way, Jose. That was terrible. Wait, he's cheating. You just got 2 in a row. That was actually not bad.
That was close. We're getting closer and closer. We're gonna keep on practicing, and we'll see if maybe one of us.
बढ़िया मारा भाई इस
Come
मैच
on,
में
Max.
मजा आ
You
गया
gotta
देख
make
के
at least one for us. Okay, well, we'll keep on practicing our skills. Back to more PMWC at EWC 26.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
I had to steal it from Alpha 7 because Godlike, my goodness, what a performance we just saw out of that squad, controlling the North and absolutely smacking everybody.
Yes, this is what we wanted to see from them. Let's go. Some really, really good stuff, right, Max? I mean, we just saw so much from this team. The 2-2 split we were talking about was like a really nice 2-2 split coming on through there. Really good stuff coming in. I want to say STG did make the right call going for the duo on the North because it was the high ground. It was cut off, but sending an extra player from Godlike up to there to defeat, to defend, to get those nades, some excellent nades coming in from them. A very well-deserved win coming in from Godlike.
I mean, in particular, when talking about grenades, Somme, oh my goodness, some of the fights he was taking inside of Neox factory, he put a nade like literally on 2 extra floors up in that building, and he just gets it on that player up there. It was incredible stuff from Somme, Admino 2. No eliminations coming out from Manya, but he was like the RTS master, just putting his troops where they need to be to get that chicken dinner. So great IGLing, great fragging power, and of course, they're getting a total of 20 elims on a rondo. Oh my goodness, they're here to play.
Impressive stuff there out of Godlike. You might be wondering, why are we comparing them with 7-1 GS? Because this squad needed to make sure they got out of the bottom 3, and they were able to do just that, Lace.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly understanding the assignment today. They had a 2.1 average point day yesterday. So, you know, this is clear. This is clear that they had to do this. They cleared that eastern side, transitioned smoothly into the middle of zone with 8 eliminations. No team casualties is a massive turnaround for this team. Then, to cut the head of the snake, taking down Vitality is a huge power play. And I mean, this was a crucial 15 eliminations that they added to their tally to put them in 11th spot.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive push. They started the day in 15th place. A team that needs those points. Godlike as well. With this, Godlike moving even closer and closer to the finals as we take a look at the match ranking here. Hora Esports, I mean, we'll get a chance to talk about Yangon Galacticos in a bit, but Hora Esports continuing to be consistent as well with that fragging power we know they're capable of.
Yeah, very happy about Hora Esports, right? We saw NoFear get some really good fights from their side. Unfortunately, at the end, didn't have the numbers to really defend against Yangon Galacticos going for their crossing over. But I want to highlight one team that's very important here in terms of storylines at the bottom of the rankings. It's 7-2-1 GS Esports. They woke up massively here on Rondo. 15 eliminations, 1 placement point, which is, you know, like meh, okay, sure. But overall, 7-2-1 doing a massive push to get rid of that bottom 3 slot.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Lace was just talking about as well with Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ends up getting those 9 eliminations. This is good for this squad, but one thing that we need to point out is those teams that they were trying to hunt down for the top 5, they were still alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how it goes into the next couple of games with this. I do want to say one thing, though, is A7, much better already today than yesterday, for me at least. I mean, they had better presence. There was more just meaning behind their splits. That 1-3 split coming in, the info was better. It just felt like a team that had a lot more synergy than they did yesterday. So definitely
बंद करा था मैं कुछ कर रहा था इसलिए मैंने बंद करा था वहां से एक्सेस
Yeah, I mean, they had better scouting today. Yeah. So you could clearly see that they were actually prioritizing this a little bit more than yesterday. Obviously, we had an awesome interview with them. They said they were going to try some different plays, but it seems like they're returning to their natural presence, which is amazing. And I mean, that try from Revo Bear, that was so incredibly clean, well calculated. One casualty out of that, but this is the aggressiveness that we expect from our Brazilian team.
That Brazilian team is going to be looking for me because
और बता श्रद्धा भाई चल
I'll join you guys. Why not?
भाई चिकन आ गया Godlike का क्या बोलूं मैं बस आ गया देख के
They're going to be looking for me. It's going to be hard for me to get out of here. But Max, one team that was able to actually do a good rotation, have a good strategy here, and a team that needs it is the defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, Yangon Galacticos actually a team that was, I would say, a little bit more passive towards the very later stages of this game, but actually ahead of that, their rotations from the western side, able to cross that bridge against the side of Foro, which is some great rotations.
क्या रहा और क्या चल रहा है मेरा भाई
from this team that I think a lot of teams could try and learn from the scouting capabilities of Yangon Galacticos, especially at one point, if you're leaving Say Cloud behind them on a high ground position.
Godlike ने तो चिकन निकाल दिया इस बार मारा कुत्ते की तरह मारा भाई घुस-घुस के पेला
Which positions are free, which
मजा आ गया
positions
देख
are
के
available, and then the entire team just send it over to the eastern side of those buildings to get the high ground for themselves.
No, you got a illustration for us. Natura, do me a favor, grab the mic from him so you can actually use both hands.
There you go.
And if you want to, yeah, put the mic.
I need to talk in the mic, thank you. Now, if you're looking at this position here, one big point of contention that Yangon Galacticos got for free because of that insanely good scouting is going to be here, and this is like a two-tiered parking slot that they're going to be playing, which is high ground position and literally the entirety of the circle. But before that rotation, they had a scout that was actually over here in this position, and he was just providing information while his teammates were going for that wide rotation into that compound. The scout, it's a lot of microphone. The scouting was just on point.
अभी क्या बोल रहे हो मेरे को समझ नहीं अरे मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि Godlike ने चिकन निकाल दिया
Yangon still got it, baby, and you still got it too. Feeling like a celebrity over there, Max, with so many microphones just surrounding you. But for this squad, we need to continue to see that proactiveness. We need to continue to see everything that we're seeing out of them to maintain themselves closer or within the top 5. Because right now, E-Arena has been a team that has been slowing down a lot. They started off hot, and they are currently in 5th place.
I mean, just to give you guys a recap, we saw complete control from E-Arena on Rondo yesterday. Started at Stadium, continued at Stadium, and ended at Stadium with a record-breaking 29 points. But from today, starting on 3 eliminations. I mean, you know, it does come down to zone ball, but it seems like they're not showing their presence that they did yesterday. Obviously, still kind of maintaining that nice average to keep them above that line, but this is something, you know, we expected coming, especially on Rondo on this map, that they would have been taking charge of everything.
Yeah, and we're looking now at the new bottom 3. The new bottom 3, Dopeness, ETSH, Hustler Crew, Dopeness. I know that squad. It hasn't been looking good, and now they're in the bottom 3.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd for me because like they're one of the only teams that did hot drop on Rondo, right? Everybody went into Nex except for a few, and Dopeness was one of them. I want to see more from that. Maybe a hot drop. Maybe a hot drop.
I'm actually not super hopeful about them because their best game yesterday was on Rondo. Today, they did nothing on their map.
Well, can Dopeness maybe turn it around today as we're going to be sending it over to the first Erangel of the final day for Group B. Hot Jukes, Jackie, take it away.
Here we go into Erangel. Let's get it going here. And I like what the desk was talking about, right? They were talking about the new bottom 3, you know, and I think that's where our eyes are going to definitely be on here for the rest of the day, because unless these teams in the mid-pack do something crazy consistently, we may not see a new top 5 for a minute here, because there is already a 15-point gap, Jack, between 5th and 6th place. And with how these top 5 teams have been playing, woo, it's going to be pretty tough to cross that.
Yeah, it's feeling really defined already, right? That's kind of what we were talking about, the downtime between last game and this one. So effectively, yeah, you've got to just keep your eyes locked in at who's at the bottom, right? That's the biggest area of movement we're looking at, where realistically there is chances for some teams to save what could have otherwise been a really rough run in Group B. Our top dogs, though, unless teams start targeting them, Jukes, and things get spicy, I feel like they've just looked so consistent. They've looked so hardy. It's going to be really rough to push them out of this position.
It's going to be tough indeed, but if you're going to go ahead and make it happen, it's most likely going to happen on Eric Gale. So here we go, folks. Match number 2 of Group B. Final day of the groups, right? We still have survival stage coming up, but it's all come down to this. So yeah, 15-point gap. Now, you know, mathematically, for all you guys watching, you're like, hey, come on, it's 15 points. It can still happen, right? And it definitely can. The issue is the fact that the top 5 teams are still going to get points, right? So, you know, if we see the top 5 put up 5 points here, that's now a 20-point gap, right? So, honestly, I think if you are in that 6th place on down, I wonder what the coaches are saying. Right, I think if it's you're gonna have to start really talking about guys like a regular game is no longer okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, right? To be like, look, guys, I wanted to cut our losses, just go for a hard drop, do something. We've got to just
do
try something.
Yeah.
If we can starve them from getting no points, I believe in Paris that'd be nil points. Well, there you go. Check that one, Max Man. Let me know. Yeah, if you can actually just target them and deny them physically even being able to play one battleground here, just starve them out for a game. Maybe you've got a chance. But yeah, like you say, normality, probably not going to be ideal. This ain't normal though.
आयशा इज लाइव हेलो चाल चाल आयशा कैसी हो स्वागत हमारी स्ट्रीम पे
Here we go again. Southern Flame Path.
भाई क्या पॉइंट्स निकाला है गॉडलाइक ने इस मैच में मां कसम मजा आ गया देख के
You know, I would normally be like, team vitality, ain't too happy about that. But
चौथा नंबर पे आ गई है.
Know what's catching them today, pretty much no matter what. So they're good with this one, but this could be a good opportunity, right, for the rest of the lobby to make something happen here. Now, one of the teams that desperately want to is Young Galacticos. Okay, they're in 6th place with 46 points. They're right there below that cutoff. And this
और बताओ
is
आयशा
the best circle for them.
अरे एकदम मस्त चल रहा है क्या बताऊं मैं मैच तो एकदम फालतू चल रहा है भाई
Quite comfortable with in terms of the drop location, but like you say,
मजा आ गया देख के तो
whole wrap is going to be brutal for them. But we've got something that's going to be very exciting for all of the viewers.
Yeah. And it's gonna be that Naruto skin. That's right, guys. Join that Uzumaki Naruto event. Get that Nine Tails Fury.
हाँ अरे मतलब भाई जो पहले मैच में चिकन निकाला जो किल निकाला है गॉडलाइक ने
And you're gonna do it in style. We're here. But look at this.
वो भाई क्या बोलूं मैं
Shot there back from Jiggle. He put up a fight, but Godlike.
और यहाँ पे दूसरा मैच शुरू हो चुका है.
Are just having a phenomenal day. It's wild to see 39 points in Rondo on day 1.
गॉडलाइक की एक टीम नॉक हो चुकी है दूसरा मैच में.
30 here, so I mean, when it comes to Rondo, Group B just weren't playing.
No, he certainly had the upper echelons of Rondo gameplay. Made it look super exciting in some of the instances we've been gifted over yesterday and today. The ideal scenario, like you touched on there for Godlike, right? Come back in swinging once again. Target some of these squads. The only benefit to that is if you're playing with a 3-man squad for Horo, if this is a bit more of a weakened knee, there's a chance where obviously Godlike think, right, we can try and lap them, push ourselves further into the safety net. Helps them out. The other teams, not so much. Still got to be a far better game.
Man, I tell you, if I'm any of these other teams in this lobby and I see Godlike already starting off with elimination, I'm like, oh, this is not good. You know, like they're already getting hot off the rip. That's going to make things tough. So I'm talking about Young Galacticos all the way down to Tion, but it still freaks me out to see Tion go down at 13. I had them as a lock for top 5 here. That's going to make the survival stage that much more interesting, though, right? I mean, we are in Neptura, right? She was happy to see some movement from Alpha 7. I am as well. But you got to look at the reality of things, right? Like, that game was good, but it did nothing. It really didn't do anything when it comes to them trying to make it in the top 5, purely because of how good our top 5 teams did.
Yeah, that's the kind of the rough part about it. It's what we've been saying from the games we saw yesterday as well, where mechanically they're making the right moves. You know that they're damn talented as individuals as well. They're playing off each other nicely. It looks like the comms looking far cleaner in moments of chaos, but that only goes so far. If you're not able to get yourself to a good position, constantly fighting heads and tails to get even a reasonable compound, a reasonable location in the zone, man. Just feels like you're coming in doing this on hard mode, realistically.
Literally. I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed here, especially in PMWC live here in Paris, is good games are good and all, right? But the thing is the teams at the top of the leaderboards, they're not doing good games. They're not even doing great games, right? They're doing something special. They're doing something that we've never seen before. And you just can't compete with it, right? Just good isn't good enough here at this stage. If you want that top prize pool, you got to break records. You got to do something special.
I think it's spot on. It's what we've seen. The quality of competition has raised to a new level. And these are going to be terrifying squads to have back when we get all the way through towards finals. That's a conversation for another time, though. Yangon Galacticos taking some shots over onto S2G. A bit of a sleeper squad to the previous game. Gave a good run of things, all things considered, with how they approached it. Kamikaze limping away, crossing his fingers, thinking maybe there's a chance, maybe I can get picked up. Just don't give Mane another knock for free off the back of it. That's the worst case.
I already know what he's telling his teammate. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I promise, I promise. Give me. And he got it. Nice. Solke able to catch Kamikaze there, but Young Galacticos are looking in this direction. Ooh.
चलो Godlike का बंदा बस्ट हो गया जो नॉक हुआ था.
One little bullet through it, but oh, he does get that red. So now, hopefully, we're going to see Kamikaze get to safety. This is a bridge gatekeep on a northern zone, too. That's ridiculous. I'm surprised we're seeing Young Galacticos take so much time to do this, because this is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, they're not on the mainland. They've got a long way to go as well. You got a lot of attention from them, at least looking back over towards the coast. I mean, Smile's in a position where potentially they're not ready for the read. If he bobs up, Jigs, couple quick shots here. Ooh, could be the difference maker. I mean, Marnet's got the shot off again. So a re-knock onto Kamikaze. Smile's advancing. This could be really bad.
I don't like this fight at all, personally. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're S2G, you're in 7th place.
भाई जो स्ट्रीम पे पहली बार आए फटाफट स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो और चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो भी कर देना मेरा भाई.
Out of position in the next circle. Like, I get you're trying to hunt down 4 eliminations, but that's not enough, right? In order to get into that top 5, it's chicken dinner time. So to risk putting yourself behind positioning-wise, it's just not worth it. I think at this point, just leave this fight. Go into the circle, try to get to that end game.
Gone on the underside of the bridge, so Kamikaze can at least keep himself safe for now and try and catch them off guard, peeking from the other angle. They have that hovercraft waiting for them effectively as like the escape plan. But yeah, it's super elongated battle between these two. Burning through so many of your early reserves as well, just trapped, just sitting pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it. You're really committing for 4 eliminations here. But again, you're more than 15 points, I think 16 points behind 5th place. So it's an interesting play. But who knows, right? S2G could get these 4 limbs, run into circle, catch a lucky third party, and it could work out. But at the end of the day, that zone goes even more north. This strategy is looking more grim by the second.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for them, does it? They're so close, man, in terms of the standards. So, like, they're super heavily convinced about this being worth it. But you can see the difference of a team like Vitality. They've been right, it's time to go. There's no one on average. Let's get out of here safely.
यहाँ fight दिख होने वाले लग रहा है.
Just imagine, like, Team Vitality, the comms right now. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, la la la la, we're good, you know, like, why don't we just take a look at Pachiki, you know, you guys need anything else, an extra energy drink, anything like that? They're just so solid on the leaderboard. It's ridiculous here. But oh, here we go. Big fight here. It's 7-2-1 GS. Get into it, Tianba. QTZ turn around with a shotgun. Gets a couple little hit markers, but it's not good enough. Gonna have to make a play.
भाई ले गया
Oh,
उसको
but
भी.
that is Tianba of all teams getting eliminated, and another huge start.
You got Alpha 7 as well, keeping their eyes on this with Wolves also right on top of them. The dinner bell's been rung, Jukes, and this
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
we're expecting to see. What's going on? Alpha 7?
The aggression is
Third
ramping up.
party
I
हो रही
think
है यहाँ
they
पे
need to
गंदे
listen
वाली.
to their coaches. They're like, we have to fight early. We need tons of eliminations if we want to make it to the finals. And it's Dopeness battling it out with A7. A7 down to a single player. It's disaster for the Brazilian team.
Man, I need to see that one back from their POV.
A7 का एक बंदा बाकी है
Problem
बस.
stations here. This is getting brutal for them already. Alpha 7 just with Obscure left. It felt like they had seized an opportunity to attempt a third party onto that and squeeze some points, but it all blows up in their face, literally.
Oh, such a rough finish for A7. Down to just Obscure here. Really fortunate on the side of 7-2-1 GS, who in that last game, and if they do good on this one, should put them in a really good position to at least make it to the survival stage. And who knows, right? I mean, with a good chicken dinner here, could even possibly get them a little closer to that top 5. We'll have to see how Arena, Godlike, do in this game. But now we're just going to see Alpha 7. Yeah, Obscure just going to have to do something for his team here. Really needs to sneak away a couple of eliminations.
You see the migration from S2G. They did abandon their post in the end, leaving the bridge. Here's the replay. Okay, so this is it. It looks like it was the teammate, then I imagine, on the bounce.
Oh, no!
Saw it in the healing feed, Jukes. I'm thinking, how on earth does this happen? Like, you're trapped in a building? What's going on? The strafe with a nade. Oh, mate.
Those windows used to be bigger. I think that's what it was.
I don't even know if that would have helped, but nade's not that big.
You gotta thread that needle, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it didn't. It wasn't really a needle, it was a whole window. But you know what? It happens. It happens. You're under pressure. You got vehicles driving up on you. You're trying to make it to the finals, and just one little misplay, you get punished. Yesterday, we saw the Wolves, right, flip a car and get taken out because of it. And that just goes to show at this high level, one tiny mistake could be meaning going to the finals or going home.
Didn't expect that one. You'd be fuming as well.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the mental isn't brittle off the back of the team, Nate. You got to reset from it, Jukes.
Yeah, looking at the bottom of the leaderboards here, the fact that Tianba went out so early, we're going to see them in the bottom 3, most likely here after this game alone. I mean, you got Dopeness only 1 point away from passing them up. ETSH are still up with 4. Hustlers Crew are up with 3. So one of the favorites going into this lobby who, in my opinion, QZZ is one of the best players in the world. To see them struggle so hard in Group B is just shocking for me. But let's look over here at E-Arena, who are going to have the warehouse near Severny. This is a really solid position. No matter where the zone goes, they're going to have a lot of real estate to be able to drive to there. So let's see how they decide to defend against it. It's not even that easy to press up on.
TT on the quick rotate. Last remember from Alpha 7 there in Obscure down on the deck. They're getting themselves into the zone, forging a path forward, and thankfully haven't been popped off by any of the teams in these positions, although maybe that will change with no fear. Ooh. Chip damage, Jukes, but not enough.
Put some shots downrange, and everyone's just playing keep away. Say, hey, no, someone's here. Do not full send it onto my building, please, and thank you. Oh, Wolves, okay. Nice nade there on the 7-2-1 GS. That's a huge fight. That's 10th and 11th place going at it. But it looks like they are just within little nade range. Not fighting it out just yet. Now we're going to look at Godlike. Okay, Godlike mighty close here to Young on Galacticos. I don't think Young on Galacticos want any of this fight right now. They're just going to push a little bit further down south the hill. Mormon catches Slonic. Oh, the Wolves looking hurt here, as that's 2 players down. But Elementrix, we're seeing a battle go out, and here he goes. Elementrix getting thirsted, and I believe that is the Wolves eliminated.
The Wolves not surviving as a pack. One by one, they're gone. The Arena resetting off the back of it. Grab Mormon, throw him in the vehicle, and get away to pick him up.
Yeah, wild to see here. Is E-Arena going to push on over to that warehouse? We see Young Galacticos just south of Godlike, underneath the hill. Romeo, yeah, using that hovercraft. That's the vehicle to use to get some extra intel. They're pushing up with it. Immediately, Godlike start putting some shots just to try and get it down a little bit further. But Young Galacticos are like, hey, yeah, we're here. Do you want to fight us? Maybe? Maybe you guys just go in the zone. We do as well? Well, let's see what happens.
Yangon don't want that smoke, man.
Oh.
Cloud with the back exposed. S-Power.
Lucky.
I know, dude. He's been so slick as well. That's the one time we've not seen him get an instant elim off something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was expecting to see someone white out in the open.
तो भाई क्या मारे Godlike.
He knocks it down. S-Power on point. That's the fight to open things up.
Oh,
these
बच गया
nades
भाई.
too have been so dangerous today. It's a 4v3 situation. Let's see how Godlike decides to take this fight. They're already starting to wrap around, get their claws into Young Galacticos. They're going to have to get moving here pretty quick.
Yeah, the pincer play. Wrap around, set up, giving their squad more of an understanding of what's going on here once the rest of our teams around the zone do begin to duel one another. F is there from TT, falling. Zerich replying back onto 721 GS. And that fight does result in them going down. Out of the running, but another game with 6 elims, Dukes.
Unreal. Now TT Project are down to 1 as well. That's 10 through 13. Pretty much almost out here. That's a huge opportunity for our bottom 3 to get out of there. And meanwhile, Neons actually does a good job of getting a knock on the ETSH. He's keeping his team alive. Oh, gets knocked. Now it's just up to effect. Last player up for TT Project. Now I'm getting
Oh भाई गाड़ी चढ़ा दी सीधा.
Gone, and this is a huge opportunity now for ETSH. 7 points on the board. They're looking good to get themselves out of that bottom 3.
Looks like we lost the obscure from Alpha 7 there as well. I believe that was the Arena that went for the rack down, found the solo, and dispatched him. So he's got.
Unreal here. Stay Cloud now pushing up onto Godlike, but S-Power is on point all day long. Valiant Admito with another knock. Punishing Young Galacticos.
S-Power no गया.
6th place goes out here. This is top 5, pretty much all in it. This is the worst case scenario for this lobby.
God, this is absolutely
3
brutal.
kill निकाल दिया भाई.
Smile's literally the only one that could get away.
Godlike last मेरा performance
Got
दिखाती है ना
back
भाई,
behind the
सही दिखाती है,
vehicle,
सही
pieced
मारती है
out to
last.
create space between the two, but for Godlike, it seems like the fight isn't going to be over. It's only just getting started. Non-Shin Red Force close by. S2G as well, pushing up the hill. Nades onto the smokes. Fingers crossed that it'll connect onto someone.
S-Power gets in the vehicle. Oh, goodness gracious. This lobby is looking pretty crispy at this point because our top 5 teams are all in this. Bunch of teams in that mid-pack are gone. Next zone does pop, goes right towards that center position. Godlike are going to use that high ground and gun skill to dominate this side of the map. And it looks like they are looking way too good to start the day. Man, S-Power has just been ridiculous today. And that last game was insane. Even here, his shots are just so on point. He came ready to play today.
He's quick, stylish, certainly delivering out there on the battleground, Jigs.
Maybe that's what the S stands for.
Hey, yo.
जोन का ये स्ट्रिंग आने वाला 10 सेकंड में.
He's been living up to the brand with the plays he's been making. The Arena. A lot of utility left to work with, and they're casting that up towards this little ridge. A rock between them and ETSH. Nearby bounce on the nade. Africo's got a double back slightly for Hita. Somewhat effective in these angles. Slight off angle where he can peek down on you. He loves these sort of peaks.
Come on, Fajita. Let's see what you can do. Oh, Attorney K getting hit with that nade. He's going to back it all
क्या
up.
बात है भाई, एक और को नॉक कर दिया
You
Godlike
know, I'll
वाला.
leave those smokes right there. Looks like they're seeming to throw a bombardment on them. So E-Arena doing a good job. Back it up. Just, hey, take our time. We can't afford to get knocked here. This is still stage 5. This is wild. I mean, I think these teams in the mid-pack all played super aggressive, and it just didn't work out for, like, almost any of them.
The exact opposite of what really they needed to get out from this one. The rich will only get richer towards the top, and our bottom 3 squads all still in the running. That's where the movement could be of a game like this.
भाई
BTSH
फाइट हो
can
रही है
keep up
Godlike
the
के
gameplay
S2G
we've
के साथ.
seen with 4 players alive and 7 elims in the bank already. Maybe they can start to climb out.
ओ
Nice
एडमिन
knock
नॉक हो
there.
गया.
Kamikaze gets a nade onto Admino. Godlike. Here we go. It's Godlike versus
ओ
S2G.
come on. नहीं यार,
Good
गलत हो
nade
गया.
in that direction. Ooh, doesn't hit the mark just yet.
वो ये कहाँ बैठा भाई
And
जी का
meanwhile,
बंदा.
yeah, look at that smile from
भाई जी
Yango.
स्माइल कहाँ
Just
हटा भाई,
hiding for
अकेला
his
बंदा.
life here.
He's just sat inside that smoke. Oh, the vehicle so close to finding him as they're looking to bonnet him. S-Power's on the move as well. Around, but S2G lose another player down to 2. Lost, living up to his name because he's panicking right now. Can't quite find him, but S-Power takes a bullet to the back of the head. The SMG delivers.
Oh shit, Godlike eliminate हो गई.
Godlike as S2G went out on that one.
Huge play on the side of S2G right there. Right on time, too. You take out Godlike, who have now moved into 2nd place. You got to get these reses, though, and the blue zone is closing. They're going to go ahead and pick him up, get him into that vehicle. It's smoke. Oh, never mind. Says, this ride is for myself and myself alone as I'm driving into a whole bunch of shots. Oh, Soul K. That is looking like it is going to be it. Yeah, he has to move away from the vehicle. It explodes. And S2G, nice fight, but not able to convert anything afterwards.
Hey, there's Vitality as well, getting LOS onto that. They see them and instantly farm through, stealing away some extra points. Does Smile make a move? The solo here from Yangon. He's thinking about the big picture, Jukes, but look how tempting this is.
Hello! And Racy somehow survived that. The trap that was sprung, and he was able to get out with the cheese. He got out with the cheese unscathed.
जोन से जाएगा मुझे लग रहा है.
Scenes, quick wrap around. Ooh,
जोन से गया.
can't make it back in. That is going to be the deny out then. No chance to re-peek into the zone. Points denied. Yangon removed.
What is this leaderboards? What is this leaderboards, my man? What's going on here? So we got 4 from the top 5, 2 from the bottom 3, and only 1 in the mid-pack? Does it need to be said here? Does it need to be said here, folks? This is insane.
Feeling pretty defined. Feels like it's all just inevitable with how it's been going. ETSH, realistically, the only one towards the bottom side of anything to be earned from this. Dopeness only down to a duo. The last man of Aura in Sleepy, tucked in behind the tree. He couldn't have been not far away either.
Yeah, honestly, he's doing enough, right? If you're Aura, you're just trying to put up, 4 or 5 points a game, that could be enough to just put yourselves into those finals. Considering that, yeah, I mean, all the mid-pack teams aren't going to have that 20-point pop-off game that they needed. There's only, I think, 1 that stands a chance. And it's going to be tough considering that almost all the lobby, the top of the lobby is still here. Look at this, Youngship Red Force with 1. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Now it's ETSH, the team that needs to get themselves out of the bottom. Now just getting destroyed on the side by E-Arena, the Thai squad. Deleting them out of there. Nice push, though. They did get some good, solid eliminations, but they're going to still need to do a whole lot more if we want to see them in that survival stage.
Yeah, had to squeeze extra from this one. That's why you were saying good isn't enough anymore. For them, it's not going to bail them out. Dopeness, though. The dope duo looking to clash versus Ida. First one falls. E-Arena even trying to siphon points off the back of that, and they do so successfully, taking down Dopeness. Hyunbin falls. Razy loses his footing on the rocks.
MG3, so good, but you know what? Its weakness is when you're getting shot in the back. Fortunate there for Racy. Again, Team Vitality just flexing at this point. They still have 2 players up. Nongshim Red Force get that thirst. And, you know, all the teams at top are doing exactly what they need to. Hey, just survive, put some decent points on the board, and it's a lock. Considering that there's only 5 teams remaining,
Godlike दूसरे नंबर पे आ गया भाई, क्या बात है, 73 पॉइंट है वो टोटल.
The real eyes on and storyline left is Ida. Like, if you're Ida right now, the best thing that can happen is you take out this entire lobby here and now.
Just have a monstrous game from it. Give it your absolute all. It's not going to get any easier, though. Weird timeline where Sleepy could probably sneak into the zone unnoticed as well, because Nonshin cleared this whole area, so they might not expect anyone to be there. They didn't find him tucked in behind the tree, so he's looking to just steal points if he can.
Schweppes practicing his TIG welding right there, making sure that he goes and he's walking that cup, fixing that vehicle, getting it loaded up for the rest of the match. I wonder if Ida has that IQ to understand if they were doing enough elimination feed tracking to have a good idea of who's left in this lobby. It's quite difficult with everything that's going on. But if they have a good, solid idea of who's left, then they need to realize that they got to amp this aggression up. Like, why not? If you're Ida, you need to wipe this entire lobby out if you have a chance at getting top 5, because if you don't, and we see 4th and 5th place get chicken dinners, like, top 5's gone. So let's see what they decide to do here. I understand why they're playing it very pensively. They want to make sure that they get to that end game, but you got to ramp up the aggression.
Sleepy spotted in the end. He's hoping he could worm his way back into the zone, but not this time. Nonshin Red Force looking for a bit of an assess on the situation. Got a good lay of the land from the position they're in. Vitality close by towards Ida as well. The arena with a bit of a scouting play. Tourniquet there in the back of the vehicle. Limited cover as well, Jukes. And Nonshin, such an open angle to just take pot shots.
Oh, man, this circle not too kind as there's a lot of open field in that center. Everyone's going to have to play the edge. I would like to see Ida go push up into these buildings, though, and challenge Team Vitality. They need to, honestly. They have to clear the south side out pretty quickly. And you can see them in the vehicles, in the buggies, just getting some more information for now. Rita, though, is just moving up ever so closely. He could hear those steps. He knows they're in that building.
Audio cue giving the game away somewhat. Rita with a nade as well, pin pulled on it. If he gets a chance to arc it in, find a knock, then they could collapse, but they are starting to fragment over as well. Darkin advanced towards the zone, looking to get set up near the cover they found. 2 players make it in. Darkin with a knock over to Hyunbin as well. Fires back up onto this ridge and does some damage onto Nonshin. Vitality reaggress. Emre holding. Rito with the assist. The shotgun slays back over onto Federales. Emre will pick off Axel. And Vitality crumble to Ida. They're starting to cook, Jukes.
This is a perfect scenario for them, right? They got 2 players already taking a position in this next zone. They were able to clear out Team Vitality, and now they're getting towards that end game. It's still going to be quite difficult considering that you got E-Arena up on top with the circle priority. And most likely, we're going to see Ida fight Nongshim Red Force. So if that does happen, never mind. Ida, they understand. They need to win this game. Push up into E-Arena, challenge them, try to take them out as fast as possible, and then have to deal with Nongshim Red Force later.
So many smokes being arced here, setting themselves up for it, trying to create some semblance of cover to protect them from Nongshim, block off the line of sight, and then take the fight over. Deep nade in as well. Nongshim aren't sleeping either. They're thinking about just taking the hit too. It could be a 3-way battle for the finish instantly. Tizzy so low.
Oh, Schweppes got so much damage onto him. But now we're going to see Ida throw some good names onto Nongshim Red Force. That's 2 knocks for them. This is the best case scenario. They need to wipe out this entire lobby if they want a chance. Here they go, and they are starting to do it little by little. But now E-Arena have woken up. Now they're starting to put in some work.
So much damage. So little time to try and fix the issues you've suffered from that encounter, and E-Arena know that the knee is weak. Seeing if they can make them buckle with Schweppes.
Another one.
Clearing through. Good shots on target. Brings us down to just a duo on either side. Mormon with utility as well. He's only got that 1 Molotov left in the back pocket. 100 rounds of ammo on the org as he shoots up. Emre sneaking in.
That one hurt. Unfortunately, that was his second to last name. Ooh, that volley. Mighty close. And Mormon gets the knock. Single player up left. It's Schweppes and Mormon versus the final player from Ida.
Darkin. Can he somehow find a way to follow through and win this 1v2? Peek up. Oh,
that's huge.
Falls. They've got the revive off in the meantime. Mormon primes the nade. Tiny K tucks in behind the wall. Nade misses. Darkin peaks. That's on target. Good shot. Follow-up there. HG takes him away as Tiny K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun stand-up, but will he win? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida getting it done in the 1v3.
Played it to perfection, Jukes.
Let's go.
They go for the res and gets the engage off, wins the 1v1, isolates it with a nade, finishes him off, up close, sweating bullets with the shotgun, shuts it down and gets the dinner.
DBS behind the tree using that shotgun whip technology, saying, you know what, I'm gonna shoot that shot before you could even see me, and goodbye. I mean, this was perfect case scenario. Literally, this is what they needed to do if they want a shot at the finals, and they did it the hardest way possible. That was not easy. Look at the shot. Whoa. Whoa. Bye-bye.
The quick taps on it. Fast fingers. And brilliant decision-making with how he approached it in what was a chaotic moment. Milliseconds of decision-making.
Sometimes you just got to clutch it up. You know, you just got to make a play if you want to keep your team in this tournament. And it's plays like that that are momentum shifters, right? It's one of those plays so big, so massive, that it gets your team so dang hyped that you just become an unstoppable force for it, right? So they got it in that game, and yeah, you can see that. You want to gain some faith in your squad? You want your team to believe in you? That is how you do it, and that is a kiss well-deserved.
There was no buckshot in that shotgun, Jigs. It was all slugs. See, just uppercutted the whole lobby.
Made a play. That was one of the plays of the tournament so far. I mean, 1v3 to win the game, and if this squad makes it into the finals, that was it right there, guys. That is the play that made that possible.
From feeling like it was becoming an impossibility to really just dialing in and immediately, like you say, locking in, knowing the game plan, understanding we have to fight. And they were so proactive that entire time.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, guys, right? Is you're in a situation where your back's against the wall and you can just look at it and be like, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. We're just going to play it out as is. No, like, this is what I love about this year in particular. We're seeing teams, coaches understand just doing whatever happens isn't going to work. You got to do something different. You got to adapt.
You do indeed. And we got to get down to the stage with Kalaris to hear from Godlike.
That's right. Thank you very much, boys. Here I'm with S-Power once again to talk about that first victory, as well as what was going on in Erangel. But I want to focus on Rondo to start things off. Obviously, you guys had great eliminations to start things up over in Neox. And then from the north side of that circle, you looked very controlled. And then when SUG wrapped around, you looked super controlled against them as well. What was the game like from your perspective?
Our perspective was very simple and clear. We'll just play a natural game. We'll play in slow. Basically, we'll play in slow motion. We'll just go with the flow. And we'll try to clear our back as much as we can. and we did it very well. We executed the things very properly. So that's why we could secure the second dinner, sorry.
Looked fantastic, really did. That's a great start for you guys. If you continue that on, you're basically going to be qualified for the final, so it's looking really good right now. Game 2, of course, wide wrap on towards Stalba or on that east side, but then getting stuck on Stalba can be a little bit difficult there, and it kind of felt like that was the case for you guys. What was it like here from the team as a whole?
We did choke there because we planned something, but we didn't execute that in a proper way. That's what costed us the game, but hopefully we are looking forward to the next matches, and hopefully we'll do better comparatively. Yep.
It's looking good for Godlike. Thank you very much for joining me here, S-Power, once again. That is S-Power here, down on the stage, looking awesome here on day 2 of Group B.
주나요? 다 차벽 이용해 후보. 공 왔다. 얘들아 왼쪽 보고 많아. 앞에 나무 기절. 나무 중간 나무. 나무 라스. 해단대. Ben yine tepeye çıkabilirim muhtemelen.
Oğlum sen Rite gelen olmayacak dedin de şey gelmesin oğlum iyi.
Kim?
İyi.
Oğlum iyi ne işin var? Sabah olunca bunlar. Ya beni almanız lazım ha yalnız. Belki sen alırsın beni tamam mı? Alırım da. Açından nefes çekeyim. Kaçmışlar bunlar ya direkt. Beni falan yok mu ya? 6x nah itu mati orang peluru red itu bisa teman ya 60 gua enggak ada enggak usah di berapa ya Enes ya guys bagian atas guys 15 Enes berapa mati 2 orang mati berapa ya orang tadi gua bunuh 1 mati 2 oke di jamur ada yang mayat ada mayat jamur iya ya mana Enes belum teman weh cinta nih tuh mama song itu aku alur mau pelap he รถจะระเบิดโอเคตายมาผมอยู่นะเตอร์รอมา
Loving the radio comms and the translation as well, but I'm also loving the PMWC Lucky Spin, which is available now in PUBG Mobile. Co-created with PDP creator Nana, the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, the Stunning Alien Fusion grows out. Log into PUBG Mobile and take your spin before it's gone, like Max has done. I have tried it as well. I'm gonna try it again today because that grows out looks sick.
It is amazing. And he's also glowing. It doesn't look like it right now in the picture, but it does actually glow quite a bit. So he's got some animation. It's themed around PMWC. It's only W's for the skins right now.
And one team that was glowing in that last match was none other than IDA. Because IDA, my goodness, this is a squad that also needs to make sure they stay within that range of getting to the top 5. And they were able to do just that, Neptura.
They were indeed really looking forward to what they have coming in off the back of that big win because, yeah, they did play that very well. I want to point out specifically there's smokes coming on in there. We were talking about this again, you know, analysts, we chat in the backstage area. But it was really nice to see them use those smokes against EA when they made that push onto Nongshim. It was a really good performance there to just make sure. And yeah, you're seeing the day 1 versus day 2, night and day. I mean, I think we saw that in game. We could see it very clearly, but night and day on those stats as well, looking very good for them.
I mean, I love this because I love having a look at their average of eliminations and being able to capitalize on that. And I want to give them a get them whatever food they want, buy them whatever skin they want in PUBG Mobile because it's insanity that E-Arena lost that with that much health and utility. Obviously, no popping on the zigzag, but was not prepared for that shotgun at the end. And you know what? having teams that, you know, are creeping their way up from the bottom into these positions, they're locked in.
Yep.
And if you think you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're safe, it's not always the case.
It's definitely not always the case. Between Circle, for us, we're looking at the match ranking here. Teams 9 through 13 were eliminated, Max, which leaves a huge opening for those squads towards the bottom and also for those teams towards the top to just kind of expand that lead.
I mean, yeah, because it's so close towards the teams in the middle and especially the bottom of the pack, as you just said here, Seven. And because of that, I was expecting Tiamba to just kind of level up their aggression, which they actually did at the very start. They did go for a crash on, I believe it was 7-1 GS team. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But not on Circle 1 to Circle 2. You know, it's a little bit too early to go for a full commit fight and get instantly eliminated because you're not getting any eliminations and especially not getting any placement points. So Tiamba, I like the change of mindset, but it's just not at the right time. They need to do the fights when it makes the most sense in these games.
Yeah, I mean, 7-2-1 sort of took them down, and that creates like that chain effect at the bottom three, Max, you know?
Yes.
Giving a little bit of hope to none other than dopeness. They overtook them, put themselves in a good position, got on that north side, didn't scout Nongshim, and, you know, just leaving Kenji and Spigot to sponge some placement. But look, this is how crazy it gets at the lower of the leaderboard.
Was look at the top damage dealers here. I was just speechless by what Ida was able to do there at the end. That solo player, he was even celebrated with the kiss on the forehead, just saying, good job, please keep that up. We really need that, because if not, then we're not going to be able to make it to top 5 or even get close. But right now, that squad, with this kind of performances, at least they're putting themselves in that it doesn't really matter area, because they might end up going to survival, which might leave them open to just do whatever the heck they want.
Well, that's exactly how you want to be playing, right? You want to make sure you are comfortable, ready to go, and ready to get into the next game without too much of an, oh my God, we got to win this game if we want to succeed. But yeah, really, really good stuff coming in from there. Also, shout out to EA in that final play. I do want to say EA actually doing a really, really good job. And I think if it hadn't been for the Ida player, you know, flicking in to get that win, they were isolating Ida really well. They were moving around and trying to control as much of the zone as possible. So shout out to them. It's still a really good game from them. So again, going into the next Erangel, want to see more from them.
Yeah, Arena. Shout out to you, E Arena, right up until the end when you got absolutely smoked by one player with very low HP. One team that has been actually very consistent today, Max, for the first 2 games, which has been a big difference from what we saw yesterday in day 1 for Group E, is none other than Nongshim.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to ask me about Nongshim Red Force. I love the way they play because they're not an aggressive team early game, mid game, right? They're just trying to get a focus on their position. And especially if you look at this circle finish, western side of Stolber, very northern side. Where do Nongshim Red Force drop? Down in farm split. They go for wide rotation all around the eastern side of Stolber Mountain, get a great entry point, have a 4-man split, just scouting very passively, just getting some information, seeing where all the players are hiding in those bushes. And at the end, when the teams are at their weakest, they're involved in a fight, they have to rock up, they take the high gun position and get a ton of eliminations. Sure, it's not a win, but Nongshim Red Force, the macro decision making is just next level.
Honestly, come over here, Max. That was just... Ah, no!
Off camera!
He gave me a little... As we're looking at the overall ranking for Team Vitality, I mean, they're going to stay up there too. Godlike still performing well. Just let's keep an eye on that gap between Godlike and Ida Esports, because it is currently at 12 points. S2G has been able to perform well. They ended up on a 1v1 with Godl.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm on the fence for S2G, honestly, here, Seven.
Same.
Why?
Because yes, they are performing better. Are they performing well? I don't really think so. At least not in that game. I think they were way too slow on that third party. I think they took forever. Once the third party was done, then they took forever to actually push Godlike as well, just giving them so much time to defend.
I mean, especially they only have 12 placement points over the course of what is now 8 games. That's a very low placement point, and the survival time must be abysmal. S2G, you need to get into those late games.
And for this team towards the bottom right now, Lace, I want you to get into your best coaching mentality. How are you going to hype up these teams like Tiamba, ETSH Esports, and Hustler Crew?
I will personally head over to Hot Jukes. I will reach down and grab his left shoe. And probably not do much with it because, you know, I might get a complaint. But look, these teams... especially Esh, coming out of that, they had a great position on the high north side. They had about 5 vehicle cover, 7 eliminations, moving on into that zone. And what did they do? EA Arena. They knew that they were there. It's not like they was just kind of did a nice flank onto them, but they're struggling with these positions into late game. If they were to have just defended E Arena from behind, it would have been a different story for them. But the passiveness when it comes just specifically to late games from Team Etch is sad.
Yeah, it is sad for them. And for Hustler crew, honestly, Kalaris, they might need a new pep talk, man.
Yeah, that's going to cost you the big bucks here for PMWC. But I think in Group B, the big bucks has done all the talking. You've got 4 of the 5 at the very top that I think have been the big fish, the big kahunas. They've made some amazing plays happen each and every time. They've looked very flashy, but one that's been ultra consistent without looking too flashy, I think, has been Horror Esports.
Just swimming along in that pond. They're a big fish at the moment. It is Horror. They're doing fantastically well. Again, so far they've had 2 bad games, like a 15th and a 16th, where it's not gone well. But we caveat with the fact that if they don't have a bad game like that, it's a top 5 at minimum. They've had multiple thirds, multiple seconds. They've had a strong win yesterday on Erangel. They're just a consistent team. But when we look at this, it's nice because that's very promising going into the finals.
No, definitely, definitely. Especially since someone like Sky, right, is still currently in that running for a potential MVP spot of this group, I would say in particular.
Beast.
Maybe you can kind of carry that forward into like a final if it does occur. And that said, I feel like the top 5 as a whole, there's a little bit of separation already gathering from the bubble teams just below them. So Horror currently is kind of that boundary. I think that they can stay stalwart in what they've been able to do so far. Good splits and being able to take central positions. And they do control space very well. It's just that actually at the very top of this lobby looks so flashy. When those stack levels come in, it's difficult to kind of go up against that.
Like when we were memeing earlier on in the day with Vitality, they had a really greedy 4-man split.
Yeah, they did.
And then we had Arena with their 39-point game. But it just, by contrast, Horror's just chugging along. And I don't think we'll see 39 Elim games. We won't see 4-man splits going to the finals. That's the winning strategy right there.
All right, well, thank you very much, Blanket. It's time now to send it over to some of the big boys. Once again, on the caster desk, it's more games here at PMWC.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Blank. Very exciting seeing everyone start to set things up with how it's going here, Dukes. The day, of course, already raging on. 2 of our battlegrounds played out, and another spectacular one just on the horizon, off the back of what was a monumental clutch. I'm hoping everyone tries to raise the bar of their own individual level to match that.
They're going to need to. That's for sure, right? I mean, IDA did exactly what needed to happen to put them in the running, right, for top 5. They're still not there yet. I mean, there's still more to do. But you know what? Hopefully they can do it in style, and you guys can do it in style with that new Young Galacticos Champion Ancient Charm set. See if you can get that thing in game. I saw the players wearing it the other day, and I was like, I want some of that, right? I need some of that in a couple XL.
Oh, yeah, man. If we can get 2 of those up here.
And I mean American couple XL, right? You know, otherwise there's like 5 or 6, you know. I know.
Don't worry, we'll get you a tight one that fits nice. We'll get you looking fresh.
Fitted, baby. Straight fitted. And I'll tell you what, IDA are looking fitted to put themselves into that top 5. We'll see if that can happen. The rest of these teams, these lobbies, need to go absolutely insane. There's only 4 matches left here.
Yeah, dude, it's gone by so quick today, especially, right? It feels like we've just whizzed through these games. Well, whizzed, probably rather than rizzed. Some of the players have been risen.
Oh, yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're looking good, man. As here we go into the second Erangel match here for Group B. Let's see if the zone's going to be finally hot here in this game, right? I think we need at least 1 normal Erangel circle when it comes to this group.
Is that what you want?
Just 1.
All right, watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you just wait. When you see the zone, you're going to be blown away.
Okay.
Calling it right now.
You had the crystal ball when it came to go, right, before. Let's see if Jackie's got it locked in now. If this thing goes to Zarky, I'm going bananas.
Just wait, man. The anticipation is all going to be worth it. Trust me, Dukes. It's going to be the most revolutionary zone you've ever seen.
Okay. All right, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I know a lot of these teams are ready for it here. As I'm looking at that top 5, now that cutoff being 73 points. That is a huge jump down to 7th place. What is that, 24? point difference. That is a chicken dinner minimum just to catch up. And that's if they seem to do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking mighty solidified here. But we've seen crazier things happen, that's for sure. As we're going to see Vitality, out towards military base early, as always.
The classic setup from a fair few of our squads. The playing path, at least, has been favorable for them. What about that zone, though? All right. Could have been way worse.
That's gross, though.
It could have been way worse, though. That's what I'm saying. But what we're working with here, like 45% water? 35?
It's still a nasty circle. I mean, this is really like one of the worst spots because of the fact that you have to make that bet, right? Like, you go to that mainland, you go down to military base, you try to hold that bridge just in case the zone goes in another direction. Vitality don't care. Like I said, they've done so much. They don't need points. They can do whatever they want, you know? But for teams in the mid-pack, it's not good. It isn't, because this is not one of those circles that's like, oh, I got zone blessed and now I'm going to get 30-point game.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to try to make it to endgame here.
You're gambling on it of just, okay, do we stay there? Do we go back to the mainland? Which one do we pick? We're just going to get stuck on a bridge again?
Ugh. I wouldn't even know if I want a bridge fight. What do you do here? I'm really trying to crunch my brain and think, you know what? I think the best strategy here is to go in game and get the brand new Naruto skin. I think that is what you're going to do first, right? Get that Ninetales Fury, Og, and that way I'll look good, right? And once I'm going and get that skin, then really think, what do I do in this game? As we're going to see Ida get that loot truck from Infachiki. Loot trucks really have changed the game here, the whole meta. They've really allowed a lot of these spots that used to be a little bit rougher when it came to loot now be absolutely stacked. Because I'm thinking, if the coaches had to tell these teams, Jackie, you have to win the game.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the finals, it's win the game. Otherwise, just good luck, right? So what do we do here in this scenario? What position, if you were a team, where would you put your squad in to try and get that 20-point game? You go in mainland, you go in military, you taking bridge? What are you thinking?
I think Gambleware's probably a little bit safer right now to just set up mainland. Like you say as well, like the blessing of the loot trucks right here. If they get something good out of this, I'm sure we'll catch vision at some point of what they actually got, right? You get some high-tier loot straight away. Just coast early game. Cut out a load of that like early looting time and actually fight a bit more with an advantage. I'm thinking it from the angle if they've just got to carry on from where they left off. Squads like that, so take that Eda mindset of trying to push your limits further. Run some risk spray. You get some high tier loot, get in there, start scrapping, see if you can squeeze Eland, bully some of the lobby. You know, effectively at this point, like, you're kind of middle of the pack. You're not really going to fall that far down. The bottom side's so low. Slipping out of survivals can be hard.
Yeah.
So you might as well risk it.
You have to, and I think this is the game to risk it. You know, I think that at a certain point, I think here it's all risk, for sure. As we get into the Miramar matches, then it's like, all right, maybe we got to play a little conservative just to make sure we don't fall in the bottom three if you're that low. But here is one of those games where you gotta shoot for the moon, right? Try to get that top three finish. I think if you're gonna go for down a spot, I think you go Ferry Pier, that Ferry Pier hill, right behind the gas station. If you take that spot there, it gives you a lot of control of the zone. You can hopefully maybe even catch some third parties. And it looks like Ida, of all teams, is going to take that spot. So they are saying, you know what? We're one of the squads that definitely could make it a top five. And I mean, by one, I mean the only one, right? They're the only one really in the run for top five here due to that last game. And they are going to control this hill, which I think is an excellent spot in the zone.
And it works out pretty cerebrally for them as well, right? Because obviously you come in, like you say, get that loot truck, arm yourself a bit earlier. They get to cut out some of the additional time they'd have to waste, sort of slowly slogging along, getting themselves better firepower and ammunition to work with. If they run into another squad, maybe they do just take that encounter head on. It's a good call. It's a great last game, and you can see they were all fired up in celebration as well. Big stage like this, Duke, sometimes the paranoia gets to you.
Yeah, it
but they certainly rise to the occasion, man.
They have rise to the occasion, and they did it in just such insane fashion. A crazy 1v3 to end things up, to get the chicken dinner, the dub, and put them in the running here is so insane. I mean, job's not done yet. I mean, Godlike have been playing phenomenally today. That's going to be a hard one to catch. And we heard it there from the desk, right? Out of all the teams in the top 5, they were talking about Aura, just being like, yeah, I mean, they are consistent. They're up there, but out of all the teams, I think they're the ones that's the most shaky right now, at least when it comes to trying to let IDA catch up to them. So I think if you are Aura, if you're any of the teams in the top 5, you obviously want to shut that conversation down right here. But with a circle like this, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
A team that was towards the bottom side coming into the start of the day was 721 GS, but they've rose massively, fighting hearty into these games and still being able to squeeze out a decent number of elims to rise up the ranks. Got a few points between them and slipping back into the bottom. Obviously, the surprising factor there, Tianba. Didn't think that's where we'd be seeing them, Jukes.
Oh my gosh, I can't. That's like, for me, the most frustrating thing in this lobby is seeing Tianba in. I mean, I don't even want to say it. I mean, they are in bottom 3 right now. I mean, I don't want to believe it, you know, and if this was any other year, I'd be like, I'm not worried, you know, like, it's Tianba, they're for sure not going to be, blah, blah, blah, blah, you know, but what has happened with Alpha 7, you know, is making me very scared, you know, because there wasn't a world, I would have put the whole house on saying that Alpha 7 were for sure making a final in 2 international events, and they haven't done that yet. So, yeah, Tianba, please get it together, please.
Yeah, we need to see some sort of change. Again, that'd be a prime example of a squad that probably could, if they lock in right here, right now, game like this, right, run the risk. It's not looking great as it is anyway. If you can completely flip that around with a big result, get some points in, bro. The other teams drop down below you. We know they've got the firepower for it, Jigs. It's just gone quiet.
Silly quiet. I mean, for them to even be close to bottom 3 is insane. And the fact that they're sitting there right now is wild. I mean, they're not that deep down. I mean, it's only 2 points away from dopeness and about 9 points away from 9th place. So it's not the scariest position to be in, but, you know, you don't like to see it regardless. Next zone. Let's just see how toxic it's gonna be. Are we gonna get a crazy shit? Okay, yeah, it does go perfectly up to that main lane. So
अल्लाह को शॉट आउट दे दो प्लीज, तुम्हारे में बहुत बड़ा फैन है।
perfect zone ship for them.
मेरा फैन भाई कैसी बात कर रहे हो भाई?
Opening game plan so far.
टाइप तो कर नहीं रखा आपने।
Sped up a lot of their
मेरे
looting, found themselves a good position that's still very central as well. 72-1 GS once again. They've been a bit of a dark horse of being able to squeeze eliminations and bully some of the squads.
ये हुल्ला कौन है भाई वैसे ये बताओ पहले?
That little nip, make it harder, take out some of these players so that you could try and climb. That's helping not only them, but potentially a few of our other squads as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the teams you got to take out here, guys, right? I mean, at a certain point, I mean, I'm not going to say at a certain point.
भाई पहले चैनल सब्सक्राइब करो भाई फटाफट से, कल चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो।
Teams need to hunt down.
और स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो भाई मेरे।
Like, you need to have the coaches should be talking to these mid-pack teams, analyzing their drops. Now, I'm not necessarily saying hot drop, but have a good idea of where they move rotationally. Try to gatekeep them on a try to catch them out on a drive-in somewhere.
ये तीसरा मैच है गाइस एरंगल का, फिर इसके बाद 3 मैचेस और
just not good enough. You got to make your own luck.
10-11
gotta find a way
3 मैचेस मैंने कहा था, इनोवा मैच है 10-11 बार इसका 3 मैच रह जाएंगे।
They lose a player on rotate, so they're going to be stuck with 3 here in order to get into that end game. And now QZZ gets knocked out by IDA. This is worst case scenario for Tianba. They're going to hold the warehouse here. Not the worst spot. It's one of those spots that you hard commit to. Are they not going to get this res? Oh, brutal. And that just shows the urgency from IDA, right? They're like, we need every single point we can get.
Yeah, that's absolutely hellish for them immediately as well, right? If we're saying these kind of games where, yeah, as much as it's not barren, bottom of the bottle, not feeling like you can completely get back into it, another game goes by, suddenly you're looking at 3 matches left. If they remain in this position with their squad already falling down to only 2, and especially if you're feeding those points to a rising squad like EDA, this can't be happening.
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks, guys, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like remembering Alpha 7 being like, hey, all right,
Ah,
another
look.
bad game, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, boom, they are knocked out. You could just see the look on the players' faces and just not looking too happy at all. Coaches from Young Galacticos are locked in right now. They're in 8th place, 47 points. And again, that is quite a few away from that mid-place position. So yeah, if you're Young Galacticos, you're in the blue zone now. Hunting down some of these squads might be beneficial because you need a ton of eliminations. Let's see if they can find them, though, as Dopeness end up battling it out with Team Vitality. Razak throwing the Molotovs in there. Lupa on fire, and he's going to burn, baby, burn. And that's Dopeness losing one of their players here.
Dopeness trying to clash back. Eyes on the Wizards tower. Razy goes up top to make sure they can hard flush onto Lufa. No recovery mission, but Nikita has other ideas in mind. Nearly gets up the stairs, but Razak's quick with it. And a buckshot's dispatched them. Head on a swivel as well. Finds Ken G, one by one. Dopeness very quickly falling to the wayside. Nice pick up there, Dukes. They can save their mate as well. This is a bit surprising, though. S2G hard commit onto the Godlike crew, and they're gone.
Wow, what a huge, huge finish for the side of S2G. This is their chance now. S2G's got to go for the win. Godlike getting shut out earlier is perfect for them because they are right there. 4th place, 5th. Not a crazy point gap going up from them. So 75 points is where they're staying. That's the goal to catch up to. Big opportunity. You know, Ida saw that. You know, Aura saw that. You know, Young Galactica saw that. So let's see what they could do in this game. And now with Dopeness getting eliminated earlier, Tianba are like, all right, hey, let's get a good game in here and get out of this bottom 3.
Yeah, exactly. You're not too far off. Couple points. It's only a duo, though. That's the scary thing. Need to weaken them early. That task is way harder. Half as many players to rely on.
Now, yeah, you're just going to see these rotations come out. I mean, S2G need to find themselves a good solidified position, and they do, right? They have a good spot in this next circle, especially if the zone goes up north. Yeah, I think now it's time to play things a little bit slower, slow things down. You got to get to end game if you're S2G. Fights right here are way too dangerous because if you take a fight, you're getting third party, almost guaranteed. So slow it down a little bit and try to get this win because that's what you need. You need still a good amount of points here. And if you can get that win now, man, they'll be having a good solid chance in the last 3 matches.
Good to see everyone being a little bit more cutthroat with the application of how they're playing, right? It's kind of what we were saying. You got to try and run a few more risks, and taking down Godlike now presents that opportunity to rise. Let's see where the zone's going to go on it. Who will get a bit of a gift?
Dead center. Dead center here. S2G are still in play here. The duo from Tianba are not going to be in trouble because everyone's going to be crashing in this area. And you can see Vitality are driving right by. Everybody instantly moving on. S2G not happy with just taking that corner side. They want dead central, and they are pushing on up. Vitality now. Oh, boy. Here comes TT Project. Looking to punish them in the shack. Nice shots there from Niaz.
Okay guys, so hope मेरी आवाज आ रही
There's
होगी.
some desperation points on the side of TT Project. They need every single one of them.
Sitting inside the vehicles for Vitality is the only play they can make. They quickly heal themselves up and re-peek back through. Razak, star player for this squad that's been popping off in this very battleground. They're going to go for the quick pickup play, it seems. Federales runs in. Hovercraft just clipping the toes of Neos as he gets crushed. And Razy finishes it off there. They can block some of this space as well. Hard commit to that recovery. Make sure they get back to 3 members, Jukes.
How are these guys alive?
I don't know.
This is insane. I mean, this was the worst case scenario for TT Project. Just Team Vitality said, all right, you know what? Yeah, you guys thought that we were just big chilling. No. If you're going to take us out, you got to do it quick. Now we're going to see Young Galacticos here just on the move little by little. Ida holding this compound, a strong position in this zone is exactly what they need to be doing. They got a couple eliminations early. You know, get yourselves a nice secure spot. Ensure that you get to that end game here. S2G would have 6 eliminations, which is a great start for them. They did lose 1 player, so they got to start playing very conservative here. They full committed to this position, dead center. They're like, you know what? We're going to hold the dead center, wide out in the open. We're going to secure this shack, have all our vehicles blown up. So they really, really need to hope that the zone just keeps centering on up to their position.
That's the crew taking down Hyunbin there as they're able to detonate the vehicle. You can see it's not looking too great health-wise for Nonshin Red Force. Chip damage onto one of them, 2 of the players knocked for now. That's a bit of a spread where you got Wolves nearby, Hustler crew in position. This is the fight that's currently going down. Nade inside from Slonic. As Wolves get that one on target.
Let's go Wolves, man. Wolves need to do something here to keep the NA dreams, hopes alive. Wolves having one of the best substitute players on the planet in Juancho. Fortunately, we haven't seen him in the game, but he is here in the arena watching over his squad. And hopefully looking to extend their stay here just a little bit longer. 30 points, not nearly out of the danger zone yet. They need a good game to at least solidify them to that survival stage. But man, that survival stage is going to be jam-packed here. Tianba looking like they are going to might be going to it. Alpha 7 looking headed in that direction as well. As we look at the top players, of course, we see a whole bunch of team vitality. That makes sense.
It really does. Zone crunching in once again, though. Centering up. S2G, Hora. And of course, the remaining members of Tianba within the area for now. Surprised Ida from distance as well when we saw that fight with Wolves and Nonshin, but they were able to steal away 1 more point just off the back of the encounter. This is Yangon pushing up onto PT Project. Oh, they're trying to get away in the vehicle, but they're running into another team on the hillside. It goes both ways, though. Damage done. Federales from distance helping Vitality put pressure onto these squads.
Galacticos, there's Say Cloud, all right, popping a couple shots there on the side of Vitality. I'm surprised he even shot that, considering that he's so far out of position in this circle. But now I was wondering, where is Alpha 7? When are they going to make some moves? There's Obscure getting a nice shot there onto E-Arena. That's huge for this lobby. E-Arena going out here shuts down one of those top players. Oh, last player up. Oh, devastating A7 here. Oh, good for them, though. 7-2-1 gets that elimination. That's going to be a huge sigh of relief for the side of A7.
It's Wolves as well, making it so uncomfortable for Alpha 7 there. They thought they could take a fair fight, be able to just play a head-to-head with both squads. Doesn't work that way. Wolves keep the pressure on A7. 721 GS as well. Still stealing points here and there in these games. Darkin takes the shots up onto Fajita. You got the spam over. In the midst of all this vitality, you've finally finished what remains of TT Project. And the solo from Alpha 7 stuck in a horrific position.
Horrific is right. And the Wolves are holding the north side, wrapping all the way around to find a position in this next zone. Obscure just going to be eating a whole lot of blue damage. And this is stage 5. This one hurts. Alpha 7 just can't seem to catch a break here. Can't get anything going. S2G, hard committing to that central spot, is working out so far. And that is, yeah, Obscure's just going to go out to blue. So that's A7. If they want to make it into the top 3, they need to win almost every single game going forward.
Impressed how good Wolves have been able to play as well with the really awkward fights they've had here. Handling themselves nicely against multiple squads. Sonic does finally fall. He was hitting some big shots. It could be a detriment to the remainder of the Wolves roster. Gangon. Brutal position, bro. They got the smokes, limited cover. Hovercraft still there.
Now we're going to see Ida. 4 players up. They took the most dominant position in the zone early, and it is working out for them. What's even working out for them more is the fact that Godlike's gone, right? Nongshim Red Force are hurt. E-Arena is out of here. Aura only have 2 players left, so, and those are really the only top 5 that matter, right? So, oh man, that's going to be really huge for the side of S2G and Ida. It opens the door. It opens the door for them to make it into the finals, but you still got to walk through it. Team Vitality, meanwhile, are applying that pressure onto Young Galacticos. It's only Smile and Romeo up left, and they are going to be stuck trying to just snake this one out and make something happen.
Nade from Smile being cooked. A few shots over from Tiamba as well, it seems. Doesn't overcommit onto chucking that one, just going to belly crawl back through the weeds and see if he can get into a good spot here. Thread the needle with a nade, get it on top of Vitality. There's the boom. Not enough to connect onto Federales. Information going both ways as well. The hovercraft coming in from Romeo to close the gap. He dives out. Quick reposition from Federales.
Now we're going to see Tiamba get eliminated, so they weren't able to put up anything here. Federales looking to go ahead and make a play on a Romeo. Let's see what he can do. Does he have any? Yeah! Headshot, baby, through the window, through the wall. That is how you get it done.
Incredible Elim on that one. But whilst Federales is celebrating, Ida's eyes light up once again. They know their job is not done. Razak takes the heat back over to Ida and puts pressure on them. Razy incredibly low in the distance. They got to go for the pickup play on Rita. They have to tuck in now.
Man, Team Vitality, 13 points. Oh, this is tough considering that these are all points everybody else needs. So they are just making this lobby that much harder here, because that's now Nongshim Red Force eliminated. So pretty dud game for our top 5, excluding Team Vitality. Aura's still alive with 2, but they haven't done much at all. And with S2G getting 8, this is a good chance. This is a good opportunity, right, for them to just continue to chug along and do a little good game of catch-up.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a bit of a sleeper journey for them today. I mean, 8 elims. Still looking like they've got a lot more to give as well. If Ida go down, that's going to be them next in line to really try and take benefit from the games they're having here. Ooh.
Ouch. Man. Team Vitality just crushing dreams nonstop here. They have the craziest day ever yesterday. And now they're just looking to crush the teams of these teams that are trying to desperately make it to the top 5. Rita, it's up to him to make it a play on Federales. Ooh, saw a little pixel. Takes a little pop shot at it. And now, oh, Federales does get knocked by 721 GS. Just leaves, I believe, Razak up left for Team Vitality.
Only 1 player left from Wolves now. More set up in the shack. There's the nade coming over. They do get the shots onto him, and the nade misses, so they're fine to survive as a duo, with Wolves being taken out of the running. Like you said, Vitality just down to Razak. It won't get any easier. S2G bringing the heat over to 721 GS as they'll scrap each other. So far away, though, Jukes. It's not an easy gap to close. They've got to get a move on.
Yeah, now this is S2G's time. Like, honestly, S2G, you did a great job. You got to the end game. Now it's time to get aggressive. Move, move, move, move, move. You need all of these eliminations. Team Vitality is stealing all of them from you. You need all that you can get, because Godlike is out. Aura, they're getting some points on the board as well. So if you're S2G, now's your time. Are you going to make it happen, though? Because Ida is still soaking up points here.
Vitality finally full. They can get back over there and resupply off of the crates that are inside of the building. 721 GS taking a lot of damage as well. This is just the cleanup. That's all S2G need from it.
Hey, shout out to 721 GS, though. Great day today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the bottom 3 looking down and out, but they put themselves at least in a running for the survival stage. Actually, they're looking pretty good for the survival stage here. Oleko gonna have to make a play for his team. Does get some sidelines on S2G, but Solke able to make it behind that hail bale and take them out.
And again, that's another point stolen by Ida as well with the shot we saw coming over from Darkin. One of those knocks goes his way, converted into a point. So still squeezing little bits out of this lobby as we remain with our final three squads. Hora down to the two players. Ooh, Sky's gonna buckle as well. Instant connection from Emre on the peak up. They're not slowing down, Jukes. They're just getting started.
Yeah, now Aura are out. That's the right play. Honestly, both of these teams were like, hey, Aura's that way? Yeah. Let's all focus there first, all right? And then we can deal about it later on, because we're the ones trying to get in the top 5. Aura are already there. And now a huge fight as SGG. He's got the AWF, baby. Let's see some of that late game sniper action. But what? Oh, Rita. Talk about, hey, we got barber shops here for these players, and Rita just got a haircut.
Short back and sides for Rita. Ridiculous, that one didn't connect.
Ooh-wee.
The scope attached for max precision. Looking to punch a hole straight through them. As it comes down to two teams that are neck and neck towards each other. The rise we've seen from S2G. And an Ida that took that chicken dinner previously and have not slowed down. A slight advantage in terms of the battle of attrition, Jukes. It's a 4 versus 3 on the manpower.
Oh, I know we joked about that missed shot, but that was actually a really brutal miss, considering that if he would have hit that, Rita's gone, and there's no way he's getting res. It would have been a 3v2 situation. So, oh, barely missing. That would actually have been a 3v3, would have evened things up here. So unfortunate for that. Let's see what kind of plays you're going to make. Now you can see Ida just slowly creeping up, pushing their back against the blue zone. And now with that snake play coming into here, one good nade could shut them down. Come on, bust out that AWM again. You got to do it. You got to hit that shot for your team and clutch things up. This is where that kind of play could really come in and make something happen.
Ooh, Kamikaze taking some big hits. Emre, look at the reaction time, Jukes. He steps up, absolutely lays down the law, spitting bullets. One by one, they're being removed. Unless he can save it with a snipe, it's all over, and they're going to run him down.
They didn't really do much except for team vitality, right? I mean, it was a non-game for them, and that opened things up. Let's take a look at the team comp and hear what they had to say.
Rahat oynayamaz, rahat oynayamaz. Bak ona. Yoksa arkadan bize araba sürüyorum. Bana vermesin. Ben sürüyorum. Gel beraber devam edelim, gel. Sür, araba sür. Nice oğlum.
Good celebration. They're happy, bro. They know. They've been there before, Jukes, and they're locking it down. Beautiful signs, though. It's the way as well. They actually stole so many Elim points off other teams amidst all that commotion in those fights, right? Anytime there's a third-party angle from distance, we're talking meters. They're hitting shots.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, this is what I was talking about in that last game, right? When you have such an insane clutch play, it exudes confidence in your entire squad. They believe in you as a player. They believe that it's a sign, right? It's meant to be for us to make it. And we saw that circle early on. I was like, hey, that's probably the best spot in the zone. They immediately were like, yeah, let's take that. And since they looted at Pachinki, and they took full advantage of it. What a clutch play right here. It's to catch up and be able to make it into the finals, and they're looking like they're making it happen.
Locked it down. Happy with themselves. And a pathway now went from being possibly impossible to now literally a reality. They're right there.
Yeah. I mean, but this is what it took. This is what it took, right? This is why we were really casting so much doubt, right? Because it took like 2 back-to-back wins to even make it a chance. they just did it. And good for them that they did it in the first half of the day, right? I mean, there's still 3 more matches left to go. That's plenty of time to really lock things down. But it's going to be interesting to see, right, which team got knocked out of the top 5, right? That is going to be really wild to see. And unfortunately, on the other side of things, right, we didn't see Tianba be able to make it.
Yeah, Tianba. So many different narratives that we're looking at here and so much more to discuss. So stick with us when we get back into it.
Team Vitality is one of the best teams in club championship this year, but I don't feel any responsibility. I think we're happy that outside our game, we also can contribute to the team's vitality point on the club championship. Winning the championship would mean a lot to me because we can give 1,000 points to Team Vitality.
AGL 的俱乐部的排名在不断上升，然后我们也是会有一点压力的，然后我们也是随着压力的变化，我们改变我们自己的打法。如果 EWC 我们 AGL 拿下总冠军的话，我是非常开心的，因为我们所有的项目在多项开花嘛，大家都是在拿冠军为一个目标奋斗，然后我们也是非常开心嘛。
Хэрвээ одоо Aurora Gaming Sub Championship-д одоо байрж ч юм уу төрүүлэх юм бол одоо мэдээж манай багийн тодорхой хэмжээнд төв нэмрээ оруулсан болохоор мэдээж одоо маш бахархалтай байна гэж бодож байна.
As if there was any question if Ida was gonna show up, Max. They get that back-to-back chicken dinner. If I'm not mistaken, if the math is right, they jumped up to 5th place.
It's not chicken dinner anymore. It's a chicken buffet right now for Ida, having a great time. But especially for a team that was middle of the pack, back-to-back wins, right, was great because we saw at the start of day 7, the point gap between the teams in the top 5 was quite significant, like 20-plus points. These wins, and especially that now going towards vitality and such, is great because it just enables a possibility for these teams to initiate a comeback. Ida looking so confident because they know it's do or die. If they want to go to the finals right away, they need to show up, and they've done that massively on day 2 of their group.
No, it's very true. I do enjoy what we're seeing from Ida, the back-to-back. I mean, it's the 3rd back-to-back we've had in the group stage. We've had many coming on through here. Yeah, it's really nice to see. But, you know, it is a classic gameplay, classic strategy that we're seeing from a couple of different teams, Nongshim being one of those, right? Where they are going into the mid-circle. There we go. Mid-circle, finding a compound, and then just staying there, staying put, being really, really nice to see that come on through. They wait, and then about phase 5 they start actually moving through and spreading out, trying to gain a little bit of control as well. So that's really nice to see from Ida, and I want to see it again.
It is nice to see one team that honestly a lot of teams got a chance to just push up the leaderboard here, especially for the middle of the pack. Godlike, they ended up being eliminated early on, right? We saw them start off hot at the beginning of the day. It has slowed down a little bit for this squad, especially considering they're currently in that contention for top 5. But it is a big opportunity. Lace, if you, Matt Neptira, if you can just stop hogging the mic and pass it on. There you go. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, Lace, it's a big opportunity for some of these other squads to be able to jump up that leaderboard. One of them being none other than 7-1.
Honestly, it's been such a ride watching this team. And by that, I mean they are making micro adjustments mid-game. Still though, getting a little caught out. I mean, and this is from the likes of, like, I gotta chuck in S2G there as well, because they're literally holding this front position against 721 on the north side. And they were at about like a three player part, and it's just unfortunate 721 aren't sort of making these, like, I guess, made like minor adjustments to have that line of sight on them. And I mean, they're getting caught out by these massive split holds from these teams. But yeah, I've got to add S2G there into the mix, because they are performing incredibly well.
I feel like you've been supporting 721 a lot today. Yesterday was Vitality. Can you support Nongs from Red Force? Just for no particular reason.
They don't need to be supported extra.
I'll take extra points for them. I don't care.
So
can you just say, Lace, can you just say Hyunbin one time for us, please?
Hyunbin?
Okay, there you go. That's an extra 15 eliminations for Hyunbin today.
Guys, I have a reverse caster curse, by the way. Did you know that?
That's called a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it a reverse caster curse for everyone at home. But yeah, who just PayPal me.
We'll hit you up.
You especially you, Max. Okay, we might find a good rhythm here, especially if you're able to curse the team. She'll uncurse them, and then you and I, Neptura, will try to curse them again. But for some of the other teams, a big surprise for me has to be Alpha 7. We kind of have to bring them back, right? For Alpha 7, we're expecting a bit of a jump up today of the likes of what 721 has been able to do, some of the other squads like EDA, but it hasn't been the case for Alpha 7.
No, it hasn't. They had a couple of really good spots, and then in this last game, the last couple of games, it really feels like they've fallen back down in terms of that momentum. They're not really building on anything, and we are looking now at the overall ranking, because yeah, it is EDA. A7's not on the front page, and I think we know why, but EDA, hello.
EDA jumped up all the way to second place. That's what happens when you get a back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, a back-to-back will do that for you. So really good jump up from EDA. Generally a team that I thought would be middle of the pack. I was not expecting to be in here, the top 5, but they just shut us all up right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. The late blessing is real apparently right now, though, looking at this page. Yangon Galacticos, day 1 Nitro, showing some like sparks of aggression. I was really excited, but today, this team just fully disappeared, I would say.
Yeah, it's weird. I was really hoping for a lot more coming on through, because, yeah, they've been so nice. They've not been playing passive. They've been trying to do a lot of things. They've been trying to control a lot of area, and it's just not really coming through. I don't know if that's because teams are, pushing that aggression a little bit more and they're getting caught out, or if it's more of just faltering in mentality.
Looking at this one, I'm sorry, I have to go down at this point. Tiamba, what is going on? They're so passive. This does not look like the Tiamba we saw play so well back in the Macau Invitational. They look like just a shadow of their past selves. So Tiamba,
the whole region, honestly, the whole Chinese region looks like that, because they have not been performing well at all.
All gamers had like some good moments, but Tiamba, I would say, is the team that I was expecting a lot of aggression, and I'm sorry to say I've been disappointed, especially by QZZ. He's not even taking any fights. They're so passive. There's still time to exit the bottom 3, but top 5 for Tiamba, not happening.
All right. Well, hey, I've been able to surprise you guys in the past, so I'm going to surprise... No, keep looking forward, sir. You're in class right now.
Okay.
Because I have a surprise for y'all that you get a chance to open up. Here you go, Max. Hold this for me.
Gift. That's been so nice.
We're going to be opening them up. You guys are going to get some mummies. I get to keep the rest, so I'm not even going to try to open one up. But please, do me a favor. Open them up and see which one you guys are going to be getting. If you get the one, that'd be sick.
Oh, it rips. Wait.
Oh my god, it's okay. You're not gonna keep the box. You're gonna keep what's inside. Oh, and there's also inside a package, so you're gonna have to do 2 unboxings for me.
Oh, I got a card. What do I have?
What do you think you're gonna be getting? No, don't look at the card right now. Just open the thing.
Okay, don't look at the card. I'm gonna be getting the blue one, the blue and the white.
Blue and the white?
I'm gonna get the blue one.
Oh, you did. That's actually pretty sick. Okay, Lace, what are you gonna get?
Okay, ready? Are you ready?
Oh, squishy.
I got a classic mummy.
Nice.
I win.
Those are sick.
I win.
Those are sick. Okay.
Your one?
I like them. You know what?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who wins, who got the best one, because now I get to keep them all. Yeah.
Oh, Looty. Dude, we're halfway through. Day 2 of Group B. It's crazy. We've got some teams in the bubble as well. TT Project, Dopeness, Tianba.
Yeah.
I would love to step in one of these teams. Step in? Look, dude, I don't know if you're good enough at this game.
Oh no, I'm not speaking about playing. I'm so bad. I'm speaking like a motivational speech, like a coach.
Yeah, a motivation. Okay, that could work. Yeah.
How do you do?
Oh, how would I do it? I don't know. I would say something like, guys, we're in the bubble. We have to do something. But, you know, trust each other. We have to play our own game. Trust the IGL.
Oh, that's nice. That's calm. That's cool.
Yeah, man. I feel like I shouldn't ask this, but how would you do it?
I will do it the French way, like something like... Okay. Bon, maintenant, les gars, on va arrêter de faire de la merde. Hein. On va continuer à jouer plus correctement. On va faire attention à la zone. On va faire des kills et on va arrêter de se chier dessus.
Dude, you terrified the kids. What did you just say?
I just say something like, we're a big family. We got this, and let's win together.
I don't think I believe you.
Back to Caster, guy. Game 4 now.
Say?
I said back to Caster.
What did you say?
Game 4. It's now.
Hey, you know what? I don't think I believe him either. I don't think that's quite what he said, but my French is not quite good enough. We'll have to tune in with Max to see if that was real.
We will have to tune in with Max. Unfortunately, he's laid dead out on a table at the moment. Completely slammed out by a chicken leg from Evil 7, apparently. But we are getting in towards our 4th game of the day so far. Ida on a back-to-back, which was kind of amazing to watch and is making it quite difficult for some of the teams at the top. We thought it was kind of a secured top 5. Ida, however, battling their way in with fair ease on day 2.
It seems like they found something, figured something out from that first day of games, moving into today. So they set it back over on the desk before they were knocked unconscious. They are now in 2nd place, which is a huge jump up coming through from Ida. A Turkish team potentially going to represent in a direct qualification spot in towards those finals would be great. But now we have our final Erangel of the group stages. For Group B, this is their last chance to take a turn around the grassy pastures.
Some nice even points available here on Erangel as well. Teams want to make it happen. Unfortunately, today has been pretty rough in terms of play maps. A lot of ones down towards the south side of the map, making it a little bit more comfortable. We are going to get another, actually, from Lepovka down towards the northwest side of Millie Base, which is, again, I would say it's a pretty awkward playing path. It is playable over towards the eastern side, places like Yasnaya, Lepovka, Milta, Mini Milta, head down towards Milta itself. There's some splits available towards that western edge. But yeah, good luck getting over towards the likes of North George Suburban.
It would be quite a long journey. I mean, maybe grab some vehicles, swing out, but you're contesting the teams in Yaz for those vehicle drops and things like that, so it can get very, very dicey. Stalba, Kameshki, maybe a little bit more accessible. Yeah, okay. We'll take a look at who's going to drop out. Actually, kind of only Tiamba heading up towards that north side. So potential for them to get to somewhere like Severny quite quickly on this plane path, but it's the teams that are still in the plane after it starts to cross the channel between these two, the mainland and that military island, that are going to be in with a bit of a dicey scenario, I think. Like,
yeah, Aura's out early, though, towards that northern edge. Godlike currently dropped out from that top 5 as well, so they're looking to claw their way back in. Now, they've had troubles on this type of drop spot before, but they said they fixed it, and I would say they absolutely have today. I think they're dropping a lot more cohesively going forward, which is making things much, much easier for them. They're not losing players on the outside, and obviously that's paid dividends over towards the first map of the day, where they looked really, really good over in Rondo. That's an unfortunate one. Over towards northwest side, we're heading towards North George.
Hey, you know what? That North George circle does allow teams to invest more time in getting out to the drop spots in that location, right? So it's maybe, blessing in disguise is quite a strong way of putting it, but I feel like it's definitely going to give a lot of teams an opportunity to go out to those locations, whereas circles anywhere else would have meant that you're still going to stay cramped on in. So we could see a little bit more of a disparate situation set up coming on through. Over in Rozhok, you've got 721 GS with Hustler Crew down underneath them on the south side, and Ida from Pachinki on the north edge looking to extend their influence towards Ruins.
It is interesting, 2 minutes into the game, we are already getting long drops coming through. Pretty wild. Schweppes will find themselves to finish on that one, but still, 2 players going down isn't ideal. Went for the old graveyard walk on that one. Pop the players in the vehicle, get a move on.
I suppose they're worried about retribution for that one coming through, so instead of committing the time to res inside the garage, you want to get onto a higher ground position and get away. TT Project will just lose one cleanly. Fantastic stuff. If you guys want to be looking clean as well, there's one very, very good way to do that. That is with
Now the Naruto skins that have been added to the game, make sure that you're logging in, grabbing those skins, getting those unlocked, because the Ninetales Fury AUG looks mighty fine. I don't think there's one in the back of that van though, either. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get in game and go for those. Okay, so these players already got it. Slonic takes a tumble. Sadly, this is over towards the western side of the map. I imagine it's probably hit over towards the top of the building, then fallen down, but Wolves were able to get over towards this position fairly quickly. If you cast your minds way back to yesterday, Wolves actually sent Necessary very quickly over towards the Finn, over towards the northwest side here of Georgia Pole, the game that Aura ended up winning versus Vitality. This is a pretty standard rotation for them, except this time, the whole team's here. It's a big benefit when you have all of your team alive. Generally, one of the better strategies in PUBG Mobile, have 4 players when the other team does not. Works out quite well. Arena, it looks like they did manage to get their reses coming on through, but instead of taking too much time to grab that healing, they have opted to move northward towards South George, the compounds to the west of Everest, to Hospital as well. Maybe they can patch themselves back together there. Ooh, a nice little pickup for the Wolves, and taking a player down from Hustler Crew, playing on as 3. In that South George crates area, the Wolves have a little bit more latitude now. And they didn't even lose a player fully. Their knock that was sent their way does get repaired. Yeah, they're having to keep on going. For Wolves, it is a really, really difficult approach over the next few days, over the next day, right? They have 36 points total. Likely they'll stay in this middle pack here, get themselves through towards the next stage of the tournament, but getting into the top 5, very, very difficult. Right, 3 more maps to do it in. You're looking at 80 points. It would have to be the most unreal next 3 games. We start to count teams out right now. For 721 GS, I don't think I've seen enough out of this team. I genuinely think we are locking this down between S2G and Godlike, making it in. That feels more reasonable to me. I'd quite like to see Godlike retain that top side, but yeah, I would say those top 7 right now, I wouldn't mind any of those teams going through into the top 5. I think everyone's very interchangeable there. Maybe not Vitality, but everyone else, absolutely. I feel like if I was going to take one team out of this top 5, and this is gonna ruffle some feathers, I imagine, but I think it would be E-Arena. This is the team that did so well in that first match. They broke records, they smashed ceilings. But since then, it's just been lackluster. I mean, they only just surpassed doubling their scoreline from that one single match in their overall gameplay. I think it was a match or 2 ago that they were able to pass that. So I feel like if you're going to take a team out, it kind of has to be E-Arena, and I probably would replace them with Godlike in this scenario. I feel like S2G today has been a better team, but I think Godlike has had consistency across the 2 days in a way that has impressed me. Well, Godlike's just been more consistent overall, right, in terms of the adaptations that have come through. I think that they are improving steadily, and surely I would agree with you that for E-Arena, that first map was amazing. It will go down in history books as one of the coolest rondos of all time. Unfortunately, haven't been able to live up to the hype other than that. And it is sad to see because they were on fire that game in Stadium. Yeah, I do think Godlike probably does deserve the spot a little bit more at this point, unless E-Arena is able to pull some stuff out in the near future. They do have a very central position on this next circle, though, so potentially this is the map to do it. The difficulty, though, at the moment is that E-Arena, as we saw earlier, did not get a lot of loot on board early. They moved in towards South George at sort of quite raggedy loot. Hopefully they've been able to pick through some of these buildings, but they would have been under duress from the teams around them. We saw Wolves in there fairly early on. We saw Hustler Crew in there fairly early on. So in South George, I feel like they've had enough time now probably to be able to pick through those buildings and grab enough loot on board, add it to the coffers. But there is always going to be that question, are they going to be under-looted for this scenario? Still, there's plenty of loot around that area to grab, though, right? They're down towards apartments. There's fair few buildings to pilfer there. I think a lot of teams realize that they're already ahead. I was surprised that Wolves didn't make a run further in, but maybe they also expected E-Arena to get here quicker than they did originally. So for the Wolves, they opted to sit out a little bit sooner down towards Hospital. Hustler Crew moved up and were quickly rebuffed as Godlike managed to make this long rotate. underneath Yasnaya over towards North George. I think it's a good spot. This could equally head over towards the north side of the map very easily off the back of this one. Alpha 7. Back to their stomping grounds. Yesterday looked fairly good. I mean, there was a good start for them. Fortunately, the capability of transferring that same prowess we saw in the first 3 games, not really there going forward. Again, Alpha 7, for them, it is a little bit scary. They're on the cusp, 37 points down towards 26. That could switch up, but they have a fair few teams as a buffer.
They do, but they've also got a track record of getting eliminated at the group stage at global tournaments, you know, so that's gonna weigh heavily on the mind as this circle is, and that is beautiful for Alpha 7. Up in North George, they were right at the edge of the pack. They're thinking, oh, maybe we can scamper across this bridge, but no, they can hold strong now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, for Godlike, actually, North George wasn't bad. This could easily head towards the northern side, which it does here. And you can see that Alpha 7 do have the center dot right now. They're over towards the western side of North George. Tiamba, you got Eagle, taking a couple of shots through, trying to ward off any players around them. But yeah, this is going to get very hot very quickly. There's a huge amount of water still involved. Can't really see it because of all the players littering over towards Everest. But this is lilting northern.
It does seem to be. I mean, about 50% of the circle is on the north side of the river. And it's going to be teams moving across it. TT Project heading to the water. A lot of conflict now around those bridge crossings. I think it was Dopeness trying to go across. Some conflict between 721 and Wolves. Wolves have swung all the way out east side, despite being in South George so much earlier on. Losing Baton, but they are across now, and one of the few teams to make it through over onto that northern edge. The rest of the bridges, much more treacherous.
I mean, Wolves actually getting through here with 3 players, pretty miraculous, honestly. You're passing through Box Compound as well as Watchtower. That's a lot of capability taking your entire team down. I think a lot more teams are going to struggle to make that crossing and probably will take more casualties than just that. Now, E-Arena, are they going to go for the bridge? That's the question, John.
I think it is a pretty big question. At the moment, it feels like they're trying to hold the bridge to stop teams from the south moving on through, but that is then a trade-off in terms of the time you could maybe spend navigating that bridge yourself or trying to open up an option on that northern side. Being trapped on the bridge, though, is the worst-case scenario. You do not want to be locked in there. A team comes in behind you. You find that it's impossible to move through on the northern side. There's always the water rotate as well as an option, if it comes to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they've got 2 teams breathing down their necks in Nongshim as well as Vitality. 2 very scary teams, I would say, to go up against here for E-Arena, and they're trying to hold both of them out right now. I think that you can have a good idea that these teams are coming from the south side. So again, E-Arena, like you say, trying to cut out as much of this southern portion of the map as possible for themselves, but a difficult task, a very, very difficult task.
Ooh, Etch crashing onto the northern throes of TT Project, and that leaves TT Project on 1 player alive. 30 points, remember, on the cards for TT Project, which means they are very much in danger of dropping into the danger zone of 14th to 16th at the moment, and with only 1 player, they are looking pretty shaky. The only saving grace for them is that there is another team behind them who have also lost quite a few players. Dopeness playing on us too, but they are much safer in towards the middle of it. Oh, that's a lot of water, Blank.
That's really unenjoyable. There is a world where this goes back south towards the bridge. There is a world where that happens. I think it's much more likely that we end up in North George, but it's very rare that you get these circles towards the mid portion of the game with both North and South George in play. This is a scary one, very, very scary one. Many teams looking for refuge in North George right now. Everyone trying to kick their feet up, but many noisy neighbors.
Looking at Ida, Vitality, as you said, Nongshim as well. Well, we're looking at Nongshim now on the south side, trying to make a punch through. E-Arena took a knock over towards Joker, but that is isolated, and nobody from Nongshim stands beneath them to be able to get that flush. Vitality trying to navigate the area now to the southwest side of it, but the urban environment is littered with danger as XZY steps up for more, sprays down out the window, but doesn't quite get the full kahuna going there. And now is under a huge amount of threat. Nongshim Red Force get obliterated.
I mean, for Nongshim, down to XZY, and then shortly after exiting the lobby, 80 points here opens up things for Godlike, S2G.
Arena, I felt like they were the ones doing most of the holding. It actually turns out to be Vitality taking shots over towards Nongshim Red Force, getting most of that damage in. But again, that is the benefit of being front of the pack here, front of the queue for Arena. Schwebs is going to take high ground, though, looking over towards Vitality. You didn't lose all their players. They're still as a four-man. Now, can Arena hold out versus this squad? Struggled to do it in the past. Similar circle like this. It's a very tricky team to hold out as well. The Ray duo coming in, looking to beam them down whenever they can. It is a nasty opponent to come into contact with. We were reminded by some of the people behind the scenes that Schweppes is technically the only player here who could get a triple title from PMWC. There is an opportunity on the cards for Arena to be able to make history on that front, as he was able to win 2 of them, I believe, with Vampire in some of the earlier days of the tournament. So we're going to try and bring that power to 2026.
Unfortunately, it's been one game. They had one good game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not looking massively hopeful so far. Again, this is one of those games where they could strike out a 15-pointer, see themselves much safer going into map 5 and 6 over on Miramar. But goodness me, urban finishes, never fun. We're going to get our next circle real shortly. S2G finally breaking in to the circle on that eastern side. Our observers do find the map eventually.
This is nice. This is going to transition into a full map shot. There we go. Beautiful. I could see it in their minds. They set that up.
That was pretty.
It did. It actually did. This is a bridge circle. So what do you do here? I mean, Arena don't need to move right now. Sure, you might want to get central, but you can get onto the bridge later. You can just sit there and ruin the day for, well, actually, to be fair, very difficult to ruin Vitality's day right now. They're chilling. But for Ida, this is nasty.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. John, this is not just a bridge circle. I don't think you can announce it like that. This is an insane circle that teams are going to hate. We're going to be playing underneath the bridge for a long, long time. Arena's position became all the more important down towards the south side, but goodness me, this is getting treacherous. Like, where does it go next? It's going to have to hard shift back up towards that northern side, if anything, but it could come back down towards the south. Actually a wild, insane position to be on for all of our squads. Godlike loses 1. Vitality looking to move in. Beautiful bouncer.
Up the staircase, nades now from Vitality, looking to keep the pressure up for Arena. They've already taken a knock in this location before. Either want to get stuck in. A third party here could be big. I think that's what came through just there. Darkin able to land the shots over towards Federalis, but Razak is in the building, looks to pop that smoke, keep them in a bit of cover there. The res comes through. Schweppes, oh no, has to move for the Molotov, and the burn is able to take down Joker. Schweppes maybe next for it as the nade goes boom right by his ear, and a drop down from the top will be sealing the deal. Schweppes falls in the Arena, now on 2 players.
The nades so far from Vitality have been just disgusting. Like, that's actually criminal. The airburst on the top side, you do not see players hit those very often with such pinpoint precision. Can you imagine the Raze? He's providing a lot of that information back towards his team. You got to ignore the minimap here. He's in and out of the water. He's watching from the hilltop that is sitting over towards that western side. Really, really incredible stuff. Ida did rock up as well. The rest of Arena playing underneath that bridge now, but wow, what a breach by Vitality.
I imagine that there are going to be plenty of people putting on their swimming goggles for this final circle. Black, a lot of remnants. The saving grace of this circle, if there is one, is the fact that the majority of the buildings in North George are still in. It's going to mean that the next circle is particularly brutal, but there is a lot of area to contain all of these players, whereas in an open zone, that might not be the case. At the moment, Edge, they pushed in from that northwest side. S2G looking to follow in behind on that northwest edge as everybody's crowded around those apartment buildings.
Aura trying to get rid of Edge over on that western edge. Alpha 7 a little bit further in. Again, good opportunity here for Alpha 7 to try and solidify that position on the middle side of the tables. I think they realize they're not going to hit that top 5 today, but what they can do is ensure they don't drop into the bottom 3. Send home Tiamba, Edge, Hustler Crew, all the ones to go out now. See the Alpha 7 fans currently watching with bated breath here. This is sort of home ground, honestly.
That North George drop. Alpha 7, Godlike, both have been here for a very, very long time in North George. Now the neighbors are noisy. Make sure to keep them under control. Try and find a little sense of decorum in the zone. Tiamba protecting their patch, and there we go. But it's like still so much water in this one, Blank. That whole stretch of bridge. And the south side fight between Vitality and Ida is gonna need to pop off, and that is how you want to start it. Vitality open with a knock over towards Rita, their forward position. That's gonna draw the backlines from Ida forwards because they don't have a lot of time either before this zone starts closing. Less than 30 seconds to get him back up, to get in a position to jet across that bridge, or indeed jet underneath it.
Yeah, Razy's just a good spot here. That's going to massively slow down Ida, like you say. It's a hard position to be in going forward. The Vitality, how do they want to make this cross that? I think TT Project not really in a position to hold them out on the other side of the bridge. A lot of teams likely not looking that way, trying not to expose themselves, but Vitality still have to make their way in. Where do they crash onto? Are they going to send it first? Looks like they're setting up the smoke train. I don't think they're banking on every single player making it, but right now everyone's on full HP. This is a very efficient cross from them.
They made it through the first break. Arena are underneath the bridge, so they do not have a say on this, making it to the middle spot. This is a good hold position against Ida. I think that they're wise to not try and send it all the way across because they just don't probably have enough information to know where is open on that northern side. It's just not possible for them to have scouted it. So just sitting up here, holding that south edge, they can start to slowly go forwards on that bridge in a future instance, and Ida, they're just going to have to go into the water and try and swim it.
Yeah, Ida going to send that over towards the eastern side here. Vitality probably sees this, but can't quite make the angles happen here because they are trying to avoid the shots coming through from the northern side, from the buildings, from the windows, in apartments. Tony K dropping down from Arena, trying to get some shots himself, providing that information back towards the rest of the team. See Hustler crew here, also Loco trying to work his way in. Final player there from TT Project did go down, 30 points as well. So TT Project in the danger zone. Dopeness tied up with Tiamba, who found 3 elims this match.
Yeah, on that east side, Tiamba actually have a pretty good spot on it. Mortman and Tony K both able to get the angles. Tony K steps up onto the cliffs. He's not out of the zone just yet, but has a little bit more time to play with it. Stage 5, he's full HP, he's got some stims going as well. He can hold here for quite a while and make Ida's life really tricky. Rita goes down. Emre next up on the chopping block. There's the spray and there's the connect. Arena doing bits to stay up in the top 5 and take down one of their closest competitors in the run.
Some incredible shots coming through from Arena. I mean, Tony K hitting those was nasty. There's a possibility to kind of like eke against this as well. Pull a weapon for a very short amount of time there, you can see. Just try and spam your screen and get the shot off. But you see here, S2G also are looking this way. From underneath. Next circle though, where will it go? Will Vitality get thrown a bone here? Will we head out towards the bridge? Of one of the most unbelievable groups of all time over 2 days.
Vitality with the double drop down. They're down into the water here. I mean, they know they're probably not getting across the bridge, so I guess it makes sense. Drawing fire from teams like S2G across the way. See if that's going to pay out for them. They may just stymie everything on the south edge. In the meantime, Godlike trying to hold as much ground as they can. Tiamba behind them. Yangon Galacticos with a little entry there as a duo in one of the puzzle pieces. And the remnants of Plenty team who has fallen before them. Now everyone trying to make their patch in North George.
Aura still, decent spot. Vitality tried to use the vehicles to get good information on where these players were at before attempting to make their move forward, but it's got to be some snaking, swims to the coastline. Razak's going to take a quick breather in the meantime. N2G also along the way. Lost, peeks out for a little bit too long. An overzealous nade maybe, but does get quite the distance over towards GS.
Gets pretty close, but yeah, not quite the full distance. Yangon Galacticos with 2 against 3 from Godlike as we tune back into the puzzle pieces. Godlike now committing to this fight, trying to push past Yangon Galacticos, get away from Tiamba. Smile, Molotov out the door, does manage to burn them back, but doesn't quite tag too much damage. Takes a nade to his feet, but does stay alive, stays standing, can start to heal, and out the window Romeo falls. Over the balcony, and Godlike might try and follow him.
Vitality taking a lot of hefty damage here coming through from GS. Unlikely that that's going to continue any further. Yangon Galacticos, defending champions, currently set to go through to the next stage. But not with glory, not straight to the finals. They'll have to play another stage here prior. Alpha 7 look to regroup. Just going to daisy chain over towards the rest of the squad. Squeeze now as well as Revo.
The main threat for Alpha 7 right now is Horror on their position. Everybody else from the south side is down the cliff or in the water right now. So in terms of danger to Alpha 7, that northern edge is much more important to keep an eye on, but you do still need to be worried about teams trying to sneak their way up, like S2G from their position, to move in and maybe get a cheeky little shot, make a little opening, and try and force their way into the fight in a much more favorable position. I'm surprised that the teams over on the south side in the water have survived for as long as they did. They are mightily tested right now. You can see, I mean, Mormon is right close to them. They're trying to get their weapons out here, get a shot off, maintain that pillar position, maybe find a shot, maybe find a Tony K, maybe no. Can't quite get up high enough. Esperalis, he's on top of Mormon. It's just about getting the DPS out, but it's not happening.
Just holding him under though, trying to stop him from getting the breathe off. Making it difficult. Federalis dipping back down again, but yeah, for Vitality, E-Arena, and Ida, this is a tough experience to be in. You see right now S2G trying to see if they can get themselves further up, to peek over towards where Alpha 7's currently playing, but they are having a struggle bus of it. It looks like it's still happening as well.
The circle shifts out west, Blank. It keeps Alpha 7 in, but that eastern cabal of players, Godlike, Yangon Galacticos, the duo, Tiamba as well, that's all going to have to force west now. And I think it's going to get messy. For Godlike, I feel like it may be the best opportunity for them to just go as far forward as they can, as fast as possible, to try and escape the pressure that may find its way further east. But Yangon Galacticos want to try and get ahead of it too. They are just immediately sending straight on in.
You may as well try and get further into this. Again, this is sort of undecided though, because you have the western apartments and the eastern apartments on this one. It is marred by this massive road that goes in between. Crossing that's going to be a bit difficult. We are on that coin toss type of a circle now as well, where teams on that northern side likely will have to move. Question is, how well can Alpha 7 hold them out? Because there's a lot of teams moving in tandem. Tiamba setting up the smokes now to try and get across towards where Godlike are currently playing as a 3-man. I like this though from them. They're going to try and take the fight closer to Tiamba. Be prepared for this maneuver.
Elementrix gets mollied by a teammate off in the distance as they combat with Horror and Etch in the meantime. Godlike, they push back out, as you said, Blank. Now, against 4 players from Tiamba. Tiamba needing a little bit more dynamism than we've seen from them so far in these group stages. Let's see if they've got that in the pocket. Milu with a nade on close. First to step forwards. Doesn't get contested on the angle and now has to back off, but immediately stepped out by Spower and will be able to take it down. Eagle tries to fly around the corner, but it's not working out. Godlike hold well for the first volley.
Great initial knock there from Spower into a second. Will take the knock on himself just to ensure that Godlike can go forward. It's a heroic play here from Spower to ensure that they get the 5 elims. They're 1 off from cresting back into the top 5.
But hey, Blank, they pay the price. Spower, sure, he was able to keep them in this one with some beautiful peaks, but the off angles there, they punished him. It meant that now Godlike has only 2 players to play with, but with 5 elims, they've still got a little chance of getting across here. A lot of teams now getting forced into unfavorable positions, and Etch have to take the top floor against the Wolves on the north side. Horror are going to have to move as well, Blank. 40 seconds to get out of their building and across a road and into no man's land.
Revo taking a knock here is kind of bad news for Alpha 7 because this is exactly the time that they want to be on a swivel right now. They want to be that moving turret
as teams attempt to make their crossings. How many smokes these players have remaining? Edge as well as Wolves know they need to get rid of one another first before they make that cross. As S2G slowly shimmer their way down the coast. Playing on those cliff sides. There's still players swimming out in the water, but they are going to be so close now to the teams on the coastline. Etch trying to drop down into the Wolves, but they are ready for them. Teeth are bared and snapping at the heels as Etch try and make their way on through. With only 2 players, though, it's being made difficult. Another bounce on the nade there for Elementrix, just causing them to worry. On the north side, Horror still yet to leave their building. Another knock sent their way. A self-nade from Sleepy, and they are going to get flushed away. Grease out from Alpha 7. NASA from Edge. Everybody stepping into the fight, back into the blue, and they fall down. But Wolves, similarly, will take that tumble too.
Vitality out as was still in actually with the Arena on the backside. They just lost one more player. The final one up is on very low HP, can no longer afford to go under. Grease out now back up, and remember Rebo was knocked, but they get it back up on his feet. These are very, very important points for Alpha 7 going forward. Aura somehow still alive here up against Edge on that northern edge, but for how long, I don't know. No Fear will get the shots off with the S12K. Get themselves further into this game. 21 players remain and 19 still up. Everyone has been cut down to size.
The swimmers have made it to landfall there, and S2G have to fall back to try and deal with it. The north side decimated. No Fear the last to stand for it. And across the road, I don't think that you're going to be able to make that one work. Mormon goes down. Vitality were eliminated. Everybody from the water now not finding their way through. Oh, hang on a minute. Ida, okay. They managed to get Swain all the way across now and actually up onto the high ground with maybe a chance of doing something here. He's going to be able to burn it out. This is the last nade in the pocket coming through from Kamikaze, but there's one for the backlines. And Ida go down.
20K though. See him just underneath, has a nade, looks to send it up over towards Solke. Revo will catch him as he tries to move away from the roaming nade sent up by E-Arena. And at 2G, they need to bolster their ranks. So we have so many teams. We had 7 going into stage 9. And it all closes here now, John.
A lot to play for. Salme, the last player now to stand for Godlike with Yangon Galacticos inside the building. Puts the nade in. And down they go. Yangon Galacticos will fall. Alpha 7 now descend from their building and look to take the fight straight to S2G. The solo player from Godlike is going to be left to his own devices. Patch himself back up. The stage 9 circle is going to the middle of the road. There is no cover. There is no hope. All you've got is the barrel to back you up.
And all roads lead back to Alpha 7 here in North George. It is their bread and butter. Can they clean things out now? Solidify their position in the rankings before we head into the last 2 Miramars. MG3 in the hands of one. Move underneath. Nade goes long. Revo on the sidelines. Carrillo starts to move up. Looks over towards Salme, who's making a heroic attempt for the Godlike team.
1v4 would be necessary, but he's in the blue zone and he's going down, and there is nothing he can do about it. Alpha 7 though find the chicken dinner. They find what they were looking for. They move in with a pretty hefty scoreline too. And the drums, the horns, light up the arena.
Really, really good stuff here coming through from Alpha 7. Happy to see it from this squad. Back to basics here in North George. Get themselves a chicken dinner. It's very unlikely now they drop down towards the bottom 3. They're in a set position going forward. And Revo giving the thumbs up. Honestly, good stuff from them.
Absolutely beautiful to see. They may be in with an outside chance of top 5, but I think Godlike were able to do enough to get into the top 5 there. And it is such a quick moving goalpost to try and score in towards the top 5 that I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. A heroic effort for Eden to be able to make it in that late in the game blank as well. For E-Arena, that was late in the game from that south side. A diabolical circle for them to try and navigate.
Yeah, for everyone. I mean, so far Group B has been really cruel. From the southern playing paths to the circles we've been given, I don't think really anyone has been given an easy EWC here for any squad at PMWC. But for Alpha 7, great game. Really, really good game. Revo was on point this map.
in a big, big way. I think he was finding a lot of shots here and there. Yes, he got knocked, but as soon as he got back up on his feet, he was identifying those angles where the threats would be coming from.
It's exactly what you need to be able to do there. To keep your wits about you in that North George position. They were the turrets on the swivel in their buildings, keeping control of the ground around them. Really, really nice stuff. No one really could contest them there. It was pretty unfortunate. On that north side of the road, it just was not possible to make it across. So for Horror to be able to be the last ones alive in that scenario, that was a good result for them. And he talked about their consistency.
Yeah, well, I think for Horror still, again, they moved all the way from Yaz, all the way over towards North George. They managed to play a really tough circle. As soon as that pulls away from those apartments on that northern side, yeah, you are pretty much out. There's not much you can do about it. Alpha 7 pick a spot that was center dot for a long, long time. Ends up being the best position to play from. Not to say it's always easy to find every single pickoff you need because you're assaulted on all sides there. You need to be very cerebral in your approach. But yeah, Vara, super consistent. I have no doubt they're going to do very well into the finals.
I don't either. I think that I'm looking forward to it. And there were some really interesting CQC moments in that game as well, Blank, with, I think, a notable example being that S-Power push out from Godlike to move back out of the zone to take the fight to Tiamba. I think you were calling it at the time. You said you liked it. It did end up going well for them. Yeah. It was just unfortunate that there were so many off angles.
I think for S-Power there, it's a really, really good call from him where he understands that this is a difficult circle, a circle they are unlikely to win on. So in that moment, he's like, boys, I am just going to push out here. I'm going to play the off angles that they'll never expect. And Tiamba absolutely did not. And for that, S-Power was able to pick himself up a couple of knocks there, which ensured they won that engagement and allowed Salme then to get very, very far into the game. So although he goes down, there's a very, very tactical approach from him because he understands, right? This is not a case of, oh man, he got unlucky, or oh man, S-Power didn't know that angle was there. He absolutely did. Like, that's why I called it heroic. It was very big self-sacrifice from him.
Excellent stuff to close down that game. Our final Erangel is done. We're going to head down to the stage with Kalaris to catch up with what the players are thinking.
All right, thank you. There's a lot of energy in the arena right now, and thank you very much, Alpha 7, for just calming down just a second.